Gonna go ahead and go live. All right, we are officially live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of our Monday night stay-at-home open mic, presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. My name is Richie Marrufo, and I'll be your host. I am the project director of the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, and I'm happy to be here with you guys. We got as usual, a whole Monday night lineup of poets and performers. We do have some music today, which was going to be a treat. I always appreciate when we can get a musician in on this because we always have some excellent ones. Now, this is an online mic, so you're going to hear people join in not only from our area. So we are based out of El Paso, Texas, the Southwest United States, right here on the US-Mexico border. But because of the nature of online shows, we're going to have people joining in from all over the place, from all over the country, people joining from all over the world. And all I ask is you guys support it. You know, those of you on YouTube. So if you're watching right now on YouTube live, welcome. I definitely encourage you guys to be part of that live chat. It's nice to see people not only listening or watching, but also participating. So, feel free to drop fire emojis or 100 emojis, whatever you're feeling, drop them. Let us know what lines you're feeling, it's just all about that live feedback. It's very different doing it online than say at a live venue. So you can also feel free to get wild under your computers too. You buy your computers. We also have everyone in the Zoom room. That's all the performers pretty much. We do welcome you. And if you are watching at this, if you're watching this show as a replay at some point in the future, thanks for tuning in. Glad to have you. If this is your first time tuning in ever, we do have a whole past year of Monday night episodes and performers, and it's cool to have that. That's an archive. So today we continue that tradition. It is May. I can't believe it. It's already going to be the end of May. This year is just flying by. Time is an interesting thing, right? But we're going to go ahead and kick things off. We're going to do a little bit of time traveling because we're going to kick things off on the East Coast. All right, our East Coast peeps coming through. We're going to go ahead and welcome Andy Market. Andy Market to the stage. Hey, man, what is up? Good to have you back again.
Hey, dude. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I'm going to immediately take myself out of looking at my face and look at all of you instead because you're more interesting. And this piece, I just read the first part at the New Eurekan, whose time slots are too small to fill the entirety. You guys will get the entire piece from beginning to end, both parts stuck together, and I will not perform it with a break in the center. This is called White Ninja Vanish. It is midnight. Standing at a grocery store checkout counter, 2 packs of Camels in front of a register because the only joy I find is in my own slow suffocation, and I can only breathe air when it is on fire. Some things don't change. A car horn honks in the parking lot, the lark heralding that I need to hurry the fuck up. I am 19 years old. I glance at the checkout clerk. His face is white as a sheet. I swear to God, I can hear him tremble. $10 sits untaken. It's you. My God, it's you. Just take them and go, please. I don't want any trouble. I promise, I promise, I promise I won't tell a soul. I search his eyes and curse myself that I cannot remember faces of the people I have harmed. Perhaps that is a mercy. I wonder what I've done to him. There are things I do not want to remember. Do I know you? I ask, hoping against hope he does not answer. You are the white ninja, aren't you? I am 15 years old and the end rings like church bells through my body. My mind passed to a delirium now. My misery is at its crescendo. The breakdown of my body is now a work of art. My Sistine Chapel of self-hatred. I run the fastest that I ever will. I am so close to dying. I am almost happy about it. I wander through a suburban neighborhood of cookie-cutter homes and manicured lawns that hides the ghosts of nuclear families, searching for my friend Mike. Mike does not live in this neighborhood. Mike is not my friend. I find a house, party raging, cars parked on the front lawn, music playing into the street, gorgeous colonial windows in the front, perfectly manicured holly bushes finish a statement of upper class achievement. I want to burn it down. I do not know these kids. I do not understand their games with ping pong balls and laughter. I haven't laughed in a very long time. I see only prey now. My body a shark looking for the one I'll sink my teeth into, the money I will make, the things I will take. I have forgotten about Mike. The key to walking into anywhere I find is walking into anywhere like you've already sacked it, like every inch of it has been taken by you already. I have become the barbarian horde. I smile at a girl whose eyes linger, cold and hollow and willing ball of self-hatred. She knows. I know. Two apex predators in a room can tell each other out. We compare for a moment our masterpieces of pain behind one another's eyes. She nods. I nod and she leads me deeper into the house. I swipe a bottle of something as I pass through the kitchen. Why not when everything is mine? I take note of where the TVs are, computers, pictures. I do so love my shiny things. She leads me to the backyard and I have found my quarry, those baby stoners with bright eyes and mellow vibes, too inexperienced to know better, too eager to seem tough. I clock the weakest one. She leads me to a dark corner of the yard. I hand her the bottle. She tries to touch me. I slap her hand away. She tries to tell me her name. I tell her she does not matter, and I do not want to know. Years later, at a meeting, she will tell me I was the first man who rejected her. Shows me the scars of where she carved a game of tic-tac-toe on her thigh to forget it. I tell her it was not my hand that held the blade, but she is safe now. She does not look so sure. I walk into the crowd, begin to peddle my poison, the familiar laced with danger. I do so with a smile. People begin to accept. I feel so powerful, watching people reach for their own facilitated destruction. I try to take note of how many have taken my gifts. A hand grips my shoulder, blonde, perhaps dressed in clothes too fine, but not enough to hide the broken. She cries of cheerleader. She cries of popular. She cries of desperation and hunger. I wonder when she had last eaten, probably the last time I felt full too, flanked by two boys playing at men in leather jackets. I bite my lip to stifle a laugh, body poised for breakout. I strike first, well-timed kick to kneecaps. That familiar crunch and a lunge sends bodies to a tumble and a scream pierces the night. I let out what I think is a yell as I tear through the house, body wild, boots clomping, tearing through a party that has now found a terror, my mouth speaking in tongues I do not hear. I do not know the curse I am uttering, but everyone who witnessed it does not laugh. Suddenly I am airborne, crashing through colonial windows. It is not as easy as it looks in the movies. Glass is so hard before it yields into a million tiny jagged daggers. My body stuck in a holly bush. I am bleeding now, brushing glass and thorns from my limbs as I sulk off into the night, cutting through yards before the song of sirens pierces the low drum of mosquitoes in the night, racing to where I had been. I got away again. I seal my whitest cuts in superglue. The parking lot is quiet now. I offer the clerk a cigarette from my pack. My friends are with us. They are here to bear witness. He accepts. You shouted white ninja vanish, he tells me. I laugh. My friends laugh. He is not laughing. My brother was in the backyard that night. I nod. He just went into rehab the second time. I start to apologize. My friend stops me with a hand on my forearm, his eyes reminding me these are not my sins to atone for, and now is not the time. We smoke together quietly now, the heavy, humid, silent southern night smothering the words in the back of my throat. In another life, my sponsor tells me I should pay for the damage to find the house. Driving through neighborhoods that all look the same, perhaps there are whole neighborhoods I made suffer. During the fall, I lost most of my friends. I begged God to let me find the house to make amends. So maybe he just let me keep one, just one. Let me do one good thing so you can spare one. I never found the house. In his benevolence, he saved the two I needed. They were not the two I wanted. The house had become the ninja that vanished into my memory. The horror story now sanitized to dinner party conversation, reduced to explanation of addiction when eyes don't believe, my revelation of what lurks in the shadows. Thank you guys very much.
Oh man, you guys gotta unmute,
man.
make some noise for that. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah.
Christ,
Yes,
Andy.
Andy.
Holy
Woo!
crap.
Hey,
Mm,
fantastic. Nice.
Jesus, Andy. Horrific.
always powerful. Shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Totally. Damn. I'm glad you got to share the whole piece here. That's and also you might have uncovered an interesting new strategy to like maybe write a whole piece and like distribute it through other online mics and then be like, if you want to catch the other part of this, you got to watch the New Rican on this night.
It's
And
my
then
sneaky way of putting bodies in the room. Yeah, it's a shitty way of self-promotion in which I drag people by the hair.
oh no, man, we love it. That amazing as always. Lots of love happening in the chat for you, man. And if there's anyone on YouTube who's tuning in for the first time and seeing your work, how can they follow you online and see more of your work?
So you guys can find me on Instagram at Andy Meerkat with 2 T's. I promise to God one day I'll get better about posting things like new poems and rehearsal schedules and things that aren't cute pictures. But in the meantime, that's just what we got.
Hell yeah, do you, man? And until then, that was amazing. You know, everything that you've performed has been amazing. So I'm happy, dude. Thanks for kicking off the show. It's nice because we hardly have that, you know. So guys, welcome once again to Stay at Home Open Mic. I know some people kind of came in to the show as we started, but we're already live on YouTube and we have a beautiful, nice list going on. So we're just gonna try and keep it flowing so we can get everyone on at a good time. But let's go ahead and continue. We have a first time here at this Stay at Home Open Mic, who was invited by Andy. So I'm really excited. Let's go ahead and a lot of you guys already know her. Let's go and welcome Mito to the stage. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. So I've got 2 pieces for you, and they kind of come with a story. So I have been dating and like sort of experiencing all of that. So I've been writing a lot of poems about that. And last Thursday I read a poem at a mic entitled "For Teacher Man." Because like all the dudes I go out with, like my friends and I, we give them nicknames. So like we got Teacher Man, we got Cat Guy, we got Mushroom Guy, you know, we got the Philosopher, we got, you know, just to like keep them all. I'm not that popular, I swear. But so I read this poem, and one of the guys at this open mic, you know, private messaged me in the chat, and he was like, you know, I really love how intimate your poems are. Like, that's great. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he emailed me and he was like, you know, I've got a few spots left for my open mic at the end of the month. You should sign up. I was like, and so I signed up and I emailed him. I was like, you know, great, thanks so much for this. And he was like, oh, cool. Like I'll send you stuff, like list and more info as the time comes. And then he said, I have an image of you and your new boyfriend, LOL. And I was like, good thing it didn't work out with that guy. I was not too pleased about that. So I'm going to read you the poem that triggered that. So I'm going to read you Teacher Man. And you will see that it did not work out with the guy, because that's what the poem is about. And then I will read you a poem that I wrote today that was inspired by the email. So the first one is called For Teacher Man. He's a nice guy with a big dick. The first time we kissed, he put my hand on it. But the conversation wasn't particularly brilliant, and he repeats himself. Touch is your love language. Yep, touch is your love language. Touch is definitely your love language. thinking, I guess he's bringing humor to the situation, letting me know he's clever because he thinks he figured it out while I try to be polite, refrain from rolling my eyes. I get the point. Yet I feel guilty for leaving him on read. We were both hopeful in our games of text message ping pong, but in person was underwhelming. And to repeat, I feel guilty, his little habit rubbing off on me, because he gave me the attention I need, like, here you go, declare the powers that be. But as I suck my teeth and try to disappear into me, just not from him, please. So that's for Teacher Man. And this is my response to the email. Do you really like my poetry, or do you just like the way my mouth moves when I read? Are you listening to my piece, or are your eyes fixated on how my mouth curls around my words, your mind wandering off somewhere I wouldn't want to be? Do you think you're being cute when you send a DM saying you love how intimate my poem is, or when you email me letting me know you keep having this image? All you're doing is telling me you weren't paying attention. The guy and I didn't end up together, and I only got explicit because the piece called for it. I shouldn't have to explain what I spit. My poem has a right to exist as is, and if you want to think about it after the fact, fine. I can't control what goes on in your mind. But that you felt the need to let me know comes off as creepy, and now I feel I gotta watch what I say when you're in the room. May I point out, if I were a man, this probably wouldn't be an issue. I can see how you'd think I'm making a big deal out of nothing. What I write is open to interpretation. I'm not trying to be sexy. I'm just expressing what weighs against my chest. But if that's what you take from it, that's fine. But please, no need to tell me. Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Point
Mira.
out the creepiness. Good shit, man.
Totally.
Oh,
Totally. Yo,
Like I got sick to my stomach when I heard that. I was like, oh.
you. Oh, God.
yeah, actually though, that does bring up a good point though. If anything's happening, guys, like behind the scenes at these things, don't hesitate to send me a message. And I'll do what I can to take care of that, if it just means not letting someone into my mics, please let me know. Because I know sometimes people keep stuff to themselves, but and that's fine. What if you got to work it out? But like, let me know, because I have literally kicked people out of my physical open mics, my in-person open mics. But just that's wild. That's crazy to hear. People doing that stuff. We want these spaces to be spaces where people can share their work, and we can celebrate and be part of a community. And if that's happening, oh yeah, I got weird vibes from hearing that story. But like I said, so if you guys need to message me, but really quick, and in light of that, I'm hesitant to ask, but Mito, do you have a place where we can read more of your work and just connect with you if you'd like?
Yeah, so I'm on IG on Miro Reads Books. It looks like mirror, like mirror on the wall. But it's all one word, Miro Reads Books. And I mainly post stuff about like what I'm reading. I need to get better about posting what I'm writing. But anyway, thank you. Thanks, Richie, for giving me the space. Appreciate it. And by the way, that wasn't about anybody in this room. Like, this person is not present.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I just want to point out too, I put it in the chat, Miro was one of the people who put together Love Letters to Gaia, which all of us are really happy about, and it's available on Amazon, and the stuff's in there.
Yeah, right on. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that's a great collection. But
I'm too humble to point it out myself. Thanks, Michael.
Awesome. Yeah, go check that out. And support. I'm really bothered by that story. And I'm glad they're not here. But like I said, if anyone here is watching this either live on the Zoom call or YouTube, or anyone who's participated in the past, like, if you need to, like, let me know. Like, we'll have your back. I just need you guys to know that. Damn. So we'll move forward. I'm glad though that you're sharing these things, and that's how we get it out, right? Like that's why we started these online mics to work with it and get things off our chest, and just go through all these experiences and create them through our art. So yeah, I hope you guys, you're always welcome here. So I know it's probably the late open mic, that's what I call it, but let's go and keep it going, because we do have a bunch of East Coast peeps. I do want to make sure I have enough time, and of course everyone, I want to make sure everyone gets on. I know I'm emphasizing East Coast, but I want to make sure everyone gets their time on the mic. And so we're gonna take a brief detour and come back to El Paso. We have a brand new performer to our scene. She's performed in person and now at the online mics. I'm a big fan already. So today I think is gonna mix it up and do some comedy writing. So let's go ahead and welcome Sarah Critchfield back to the Stay at Home Open Mic. Sarah, what's up? Make sure you're here with us. Let's see, where are you at? Where you at? Oh, there we are. Okay, I think you might be muted. No. Tech stuff. There you are. Yay.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with emo stuff and then move to the jokes. But so this is a little piece I call Bruised. Okay. I meet my reflection and hold my breath too long. Now I'm gasping for air as I stare at the eyes, ears, and pores of the person I hate enough to cry about. I slip out of my overfamiliar skin and spill around the ankles that are always sprained. Cold tile kisses the peels of what I never wanted to be. Hidden in the leftover steam of an imaginary shower, warm arms wrap me in good intentions. He begs to hold the dissolving idea of me for another minute. I forget about February's wind and the folds of my short skirt and melt into the mold of who he wants me to be. In the warm glow of a TV screen, he says I'm practically perfect, if only I'd suck his dick more. I've never been very good at giving back. I shove almost everything in my gut and receive compliments like an ungrateful iguana. He promised he wanted to fuck me, and I asked him to prove it. He attempted an explanation, and his fumbling fingers found my scars. I swallowed the spit we weren't sharing anymore and said they were stretch marks. I thought about leaving, but was drunk enough to stay and sleep on the floor of the room full of red flags. I couldn't look at him the rest of the night. A few months and a breakup later, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I burst into the kitchen with bruises and watched the bong I helped pay for get passed around like an attendance sheet. I try to say hi, but my manners get caught in my throat. Everyone watches me wrestle to write the right words with my tongue. They just want me to smile. Cold air burns in my wrists, and I fight the feeling that I'm not meant to be there. I think of all the bridges I burnt that I wanted to jump off of. Without an escape route, I fake love with a world that doesn't want me. I run upstairs to curl up in the bed I'm too tired to cry on. I forgot to bind my mouth with the plastic Invisalign that promised to make me prettier. Every smile stings with the finality of a closing curtain. I cross my legs at the ankle and graciously accept the dying roses of affirmation from an audience that wasn't even paying that much attention. Without a sense of purpose, I reach for the broken branches of solitude and hope to fall into a hole I can't be pulled out of. I tell myself I need rest, and everyone tells me I need to talk to them. Thrill keeps my heart racing. I take my skateboard to the streets of a midnight moon and hope that only the mailboxes can catch me fall. My left foot pushes against the ground and I lean to avoid a pothole. I'm not skating fast enough to be invisible, so I plug my brain with earbuds. Sometimes I get lost in a love song and hope that someone will swoon at the sight of me. Other times I pray a person has just enough anger to point a gun at my too big forehead and press pause on the memory of my mediocrity. Either way, I don't wear a helmet. Eventually, my bruised ankle hurts too much to keep boarding, and so I go inside to brush my teeth. I look at the dirty sweat clogging my pores and see how stupid, silly, and insecure I am. I never dreamed of becoming a formless freak show that fawns over fantasies. Now I'm too tired to do anything more than tie my shoes and be late to class. My well-rehearsed cup of coffee washes down my Lexapro and I lock the back door. Nowadays, all I have to be is someone who makes it to tomorrow. And then the funny one. So this is one that I post on my blog today, and it's kind of me like cosplaying your typical blogger. So it's like in like first person format. And it's called An Attempt at Eliminating Dread. So I'm kind of feeling like I should make an attempt at embodying the traditional blog format. My FBI agent knows that I have a blog because whenever I go on Pinterest, and you can call me Chuggy, and I'll throw up monogrammed barf all over your timelessly chic coolness, all I see are infographics about popular blog topics I should probably be writing about if I want to boost my search engine optimization. And this is one of the many phrases I chose to never know about when I swore off business majors. No one wants to know what I'm wearing except for the outfit of the day Snapchat group I'm a part of. No one wants to know what I'm eating, a mix of Annie's mac and cheese, bagels, and frozen smoothies when our blender feels like working. But I'm tempted to share a little how-to on eliminating dread because I'm famously coming out the other side of a minor depressy epi. So I'm gonna give you a diary entry. And this little thing wasn't anything dramatic. I just seemed off to anyone I spent time with, and I never wanted to leave my bed. It wasn't all bad because I finished 5 books in 4 days and beat my 2048 score. Yes, I made it to 8192. Maybe I'm an excellent actress and should be nominated for whatever awards show hasn't been classified as corrupt and irrelevant yet. I've been on Lexapro for 2 years and I wash down 20 milligrams every day with iced coffee because I'm hashtag trendy, hashtag relevant. And as my best friend Drake would say, save it for the pod. Now that I have a blog, newsletter, and exhausted all of my socials, the next logical step is starting a podcast with my best friend. It's a terribly beautiful decision to go into creative business with your bestie because Drake's already told me to return my microphone because it was USB. And then right after I returned it, they told me that USB mics are actually fine and they were unable to find the TikTok that said otherwise. And that's kind of gorgeous. Absolutely everyone is asking what the premise of the pod will be, and I can't think of anything other than 2 friends talking. We've brainstormed a million names, and I think we've come up with so many names we might make each episode a different name we came up with. And Drake doesn't like podcasts that have guests, but I'm obsessed with everyone in our lives, so I told them that they don't have to listen to our podcast. And this revelation shook them to the core. I think I'm going to win this one the same way they won the microphone fight, reluctantly. If anyone has any advice about starting a podcast, please hit my line. My XLR microphone is like $400 and claims to be whatever Joe Rogan uses, and I don't have the money or emotional energy for that. I'm different from everyone in the world because finances are one of my biggest stressors, and one of my small joys in life is getting coffee. I've tried to do the whole make a yummy coffee at home, but there's something spiritual that is the journey of leaving the house to sit at a too small patio table. It evokes a romantic main character feeling that borders on delusion. Maybe Drake and I should make our podcast about iced coffee. And then don't tell my service here, but my tax return hit and I spent $100 tipping drag queens at Touch Bar El Paso. You probably saw it on Fit Fam El Paso. I put this as a necessary spending in my budget. It's not sustainable, but it was incredibly fun while it was happening. Life's kind of gorgeous that way. And this whole post is a mess because I'm switching up my writing style and decided to increase the frequency of posts. So please forgive me for being experimental and brave and treating this blog like a group chat. I'm pretty sure people thought Walt Whitman should have saved it for his pen pal too. And that's it.
Oh, Sarah, that was awesome.
Very, very nice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Lots of great lines in there. Yeah, I'm glad you made it back to the online one. Are you gonna be able to join us Thursday for our in-person one?
I am. I'm going to the in-person one. I'm gonna try and do stand-up there, but we'll see.
Awesome. Well, you did great. I'm glad you made it back. For people tuning in and just like meeting for the first time, how can they connect with you more?
I can drop in the chat, but I'm on Instagram at No Fake Cowboys, and then Twitter at Critch Please, and then my blog is critchplease.com. But yeah, thank you.
That was awesome, Sarah. What a great website name. I think I mentioned it last week too. Critch Please. That's the website. Hell yeah. I really appreciate your writing. I love the humor, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, that fits perfectly with our next performer. I really appreciate his humor as well and his work. And let's go ahead and welcome from Toronto. Let's welcome Jeff Cottrell to the stage. Jeff, welcome back to the show, man.
Hi there. How are
Hey.
you?
Excellent. How about yourself?
I'm fine. So, okay, the first one I'll do. I did this earlier at the New Yorican, so if you were there and you heard it, you're welcome to plug your ears and say, no, I don't want to hear this again tonight. It's called Lazy Book Reports. The best part in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is when the monster cries, I am Frankenstein! And then he goes and kills and eats everybody because he's pure evil. The best part in Bram Stoker's Dracula is when the vampire says, bleh, bleh, I want to suck your blood. And then he goes and sparkles all over the place and counts everything he sees. The best part in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice is when the mother says to her daughter, rich men always want to get married. And then the daughter goes and marries that guy because he's so rich and handsome. The best part in William Shakespeare's Hamlet is when the prince holds up the skull and proclaims, to be or not to be. And then he goes and gets shit done because he's a badass who gets results. The best part in T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock is when the guy sings his beautiful love song and then all the women come and go and he just can't get away from them because he's a hot stud full of mojo. The best part in Bernard Shaw's Man and Superman is when Superman swoops down and saves the man from General Zod, and then everybody cheers because it's so exciting. No talk, all heart-stopping action. The best part in Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-5 is that awesome callback to Slaughterhouse-3, which was the best one in the series because it had all those cool battle scenes and heroes who kick ass and say, that's the way it goes. The best part in Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire is when the dude runs out and screams, Stella! Stella! I love you, Stella! And then she goes and gives him a smooch. And it's also sweet and romantic. The best part in Charles Dickens' David Copperfield is when the man calls out to the crowd, I am the hero of my own life. And then he goes and does more cool magic tricks. And all the orphans cheer and cry, I want some more. The best part in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet is when the girl stands on the balcony and calls, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? And then he goes and jumps out and says, here I am. And they live happily ever after forever. The best part in Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion is when the flower girl dances and sings, the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. And then she goes and falls in love with the professor because they're so perfect for each other. And the best part in Sesame Street's The Monster at the End of This Book is when the big scary monster eats Grover at the end. So that was called Lazy Book Reports. If I have time for another one, there must be at least one or two William Carlos Williams fans here. So anyway, so this is a little homage called This Is Also to Say. This is also to say, I have also eaten the leftover pizza that was beside the plums, and which you are going to microwave for lunch tomorrow. It was a bit stale, but I ate it anyway, and washed it down with 2 of your Stellas. I also cooked and ate the white chickens beside that rain-glazed barrow that your upcoming family feast was probably depending upon. And I stomped on all those greeny flowers in your garden for the hell of it. And I fucked your wife. She was incredible, so sweet, and so hot, I regret nothing. She screamed in twisted ecstasy, and then we laughed about your shortcomings. Now she wants to leave you, move in with me, and bear my kids. She will sue you for your house, half your money, and full custody of Brad. By the way, Brad hates you too. He thinks you are the dullest daddy. I will take him to Disneyland and then buy him a puppy. I have the money to do that, and you do not. So tough shit. This is also to say, I have written another parody of Carlos Williams. I tried to match his formatting, but probably did a lousy job. Forgive me, I was uninspired, so lazy, and so cheap. That was called This Is Also to Say.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Great references, literary references today, Jeff. That that was hilarious, man. The Lazy Book Report. I mentioned in the chat, but honestly, when I'm dealing with a class where it's obvious they haven't read, I start doing that, just kind of going absurd, like this obviously did not happen, and like seeing. Actually, it's actually a good way to tell the ones who read, because then they start looking at me kind of funny. Wish they laughed, but no, that was great stuff, man. How can people connect with you, or of course, if you have any projects that you'd like to promote?
Well, I have a website at jeffcottrell.com, and I'm easy to find on Facebook and Twitter. I have some work in progress, short fiction on my wattpad.com site, and my next feature is not until June 26th. It's at Jackanory with Christine Hall, some of you know from Nashville, and somebody else from the UK. That's Saturday morning, June 26th.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to make an appearance on today's show. It's really great, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Great having you.
Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So check it out. We're gonna go from Toronto to Ohio. In fact, we have 2 people from Ohio today signed up, so that's really cool. But you've seen our next performer. He always comes through with the awesome urban poetry. We got the urban cowboy poet in the house. UCP, the place to be. What's up, man? Welcome back.
Thank you. I was hoping Matty Marquin would be here, but he's not here. Because we were talking last week here about legendary beasts, and I said, well, I had this one I wrote the request of Nick P. So he'll just have to watch a replay on YouTube. The Jersey Devil and Other Beasts. If you've seen a legendary beast, don't mean you're smoking dope. Cowboys in Wyoming sing along with the jackalope. America's got all kinds of creatures in just about every place. Some emerge from watery depths. Some come from outer space. There's Bigfoot up in Washington. Others like him have been found. From Oregon to Florida, big hairy beasts abound. Look for Alabama's White Fang if you're an ape-man fan, or the Fouke monster of Arkansas, or the Tennessee wild man. Prehistoric lake monsters don't end with Scotland's Nessie. There's Champy up in New York. Maryland's got Chessie. Altamaha down south, Tixarook north, native tribes believe. We've got the Lake Erie monster right here in the land of Cleve. If you're ever way up north in Maine, look for a ghostly moose. Every state has some kind of legend running loose. Vampires, pig beasts, aliens, dragons, and on the evilest level, there's a 300-year-old Satan spawn they call the Jersey Devil. Back in 1735, according to the lore, Mother Leeds had 12 children. She didn't want no more. When she got knocked up one more time, she laid on in a curse in the presence of the midwife, her 18th century nurse. She had told her husband to stop fathering and to leave her alone. This cursed child won't be yours, it'll be the devil's own. Number 13 came out normal, but as soon as it was born, it grew a tail and hooves and wings and a goat head topped with horns. Then it screamed and whipped its tail. The children it was scaring before it flew up through the chimney and escaped to the pine barrens. That region of South Jersey, where robbers and lowlifes roam, was a perfect, inhospitable place for a devil to call home. Devil sightings through the years have New Jerseyites convinced that the monster is immortal these 3 centuries since. There were 19th century reports by one notable after another, like Commodore Stephen Decatur and Napoleon Bonaparte's brother. By the early 1900s, devil hunts were kept up steady steady, with rewards offered by newspapers and cages at the ready. Devil culture is alive today. There's board and video games. There's even devils playing hockey, but I don't think they're the same. Each state champions its own legend. The competition's serious. California's dark watchers are by far the most mysterious. Chupacabra preys on Texan stock. Sasquatch might be the hairiest. But New Jersey folks can rest assured their creature is the scariest. Thank you. It's more old folklore than an urban legend, but
Yeah, awesome, man.
it was done by request.
Yes.
So I have we have to tell Maddie Markey to view the YouTube thing. Got a little bit more time?
Yeah, sounds fun.
Short song about a different kind of monster. He's a Trump. His base loves him. He's a He's a Trump. His base loves him. Breaks a new law every day. He's a Trump. I abhor him, and I only hope he'll stay away. He's a Trump. He's a racist. He's a bully. He's a cad. He's a Trump, but they love him. Yes, the GOP has got it pretty bad. Never know when he'll show up. He brings a whole lot of trouble. He makes me want to throw up. In January, he made it double. He's a Trump. He's an outlaw. There is one thing you can say. The only good Trump is a dead Trump. And I hope that he would travel away. I hope that he would just go away. I hope that they would lock him away. In my opinion. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Cool. Everyone was kind of grooving along. I saw people nodding their heads and all that good stuff.
That's another monster.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sometimes they're too real. You know? But I appreciate that. I like that roll call of the first one. Like represent. You're getting like everyone's like East Coast represent, West Coast represent of all the folklore legends at least.
Right, but I couldn't list every state, every monster. There's so many of them.
That'd be a fun project though.
And everybody claims the chupacabra, and a lot of states will claim the jackalope.
I have to fight for it. Awesome, man. So I know you have your YouTube site. That's what you like to promote on these, right?
Yeah, Urban Cowboy Poetry. It's YouTube, but also Facebook, Urban Cowboy Poetry.
Awesome. Appreciate you, man. And you got to come through with the instruments too. You know, I'd love to catch more of those. Love to hear more of that sax.
You got a mouthpiece for yours yet?
I have not yet. It has gone very busy around here. So as soon as I have a chance, I'll get one.
Okay.
Awesome.
If
Thank
I'm
you.
still awake later, maybe I'll bring it up.
All right, man. Yeah, of course. And what he's referencing there, that one thing that I like to do, and I guess it's cool to have. So we're not just like running through an open mic, but we love to have an after party, and that just means we're hanging out and chatting, talking. It gets pretty interesting. All right, cool. How's everyone doing? Well, I don't know if my internet's going crazy or not, but Sarah, no. Okay. Have a good night, Sarah. We're gonna keep going though. We're gonna go from Cleveland to Maine. As I like to say, next up we've got our main man. He is one of the great connectors of this online performance community. He was recently featured, one of the Beardo Bardos. Let's go and welcome Generalissimo. The stage is yours, my friend. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Just let me, where was I? Right there. Okay. The first is La Corazon's Greatest Mystery. It's a haiku. Does the human heart's circumference stay the same when it beats and breaks? Next is called Whirlwind. When a romance starts as a whirlwind, a kaleidoscope of autumn leaves can rise into firmament, forming airborne eddies, creating previously non-existent rainbows. All winds eventually die down. All hurricanes have eyes that exist in total calm while surrounded by unbridled chaos. Once they make landfall, they slow but will incite flooding till their demise. People in love will inevitably discover aftermath debris from lovers' past storms. More than often, that debris shapes the quirks and idiosyncrasies they fall in love with. Such invisible scars that should be ugly instead shine like diamonds inside lumps of coal, waiting for the right person to understand that because we are willing to get a little coal dust under our fingernails when scratching our way out of the whirlwind, it is the previous storms we have weathered that have formed our ability to love more thoughtfully. The next one is Unrequited. I am a deer in the headlights in your presence, just the sight of you. When you gently graze my elbow unintentionally, oops. When you lightly tap me on the shoulder, when you say hello to me. God help my heart if you wave or smile at me from across a crowded room. If you dare to look me in the eyes. For me to tell you how I feel would make my heart beat so fast it would have to jump out of my chest to survive. I will write my feelings in a poem, in a squiggly black and white cardboard covered comp book, tear the page from the notebook, fold it in thirds, shove it in an unmarked envelope under a pile of paid bills in my desk drawer, so I shall never risk reading it to you or anyone else. If I did so, I might learn why the word crush exists. You could hold my mushy heart in your hands and twist it and wring out my ability to smile, leaving only residual heartbreak tears that would never dare exit my eyes. I will take a deep breath I shall never exhale. I will accept our existences as separate. I will accept being afraid of my own shadow is the same as being afraid of being in love. I will hope that one day you will reciprocate my feelings without my expressing them to you, so I can finally be able to read you this poem. And the last poem, I had found this book in a store in Magazine Street in New Orleans. It was a book of love poems written by a woman named Lurleen Radcliffe in the 1893. And so this is my love poem to Lurleen Radcliffe. It's called Kiss. I can tell by your poetry that you are a good kisser. I can tell by the way you blink during pauses, the way you close your eyes after certain lines, the way you sigh every time you sigh. You're not a fan of sloppy kisses. No, you are a purveyor of sweet, soft, gentle kisses. Even your hard kisses are soft and gentle. When you bite my lower lip, it tickles. When we kiss, the goddess of silence screams so passionately, Aurora Borealis covers her ears. And though I shall never know your kiss, when I read your poetry, I hear your voice, how your every breath respects your thoughts and provokes words to come alive on page and give a sweet, soft, gentle kiss. Gracias, everyone. And I do have a couple of little announcements, if you don't mind. I'm going to put my Junkeria in the chat here. See if that works. So on this Thursday is one of my poems is in a anthology called The American War Against Herself, and I'll be reading that at 7 p.m. this Thursday. And that's with the Moonstone Art Center in Philadelphia. On Tuesday, June 22nd, I'll be featuring at Port Veritas in Portland, Maine. And then on the 24th of July, which is a day before my 55th birthday, I will be doing a small workshop for Tumblewords in El Paso called Breaking Rules and Creating New Poetic Forms. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yeah, man. Awesome. Getting it done. What a set too. You came and you even kind of have like the little unbuttoned tops unbuttoned, like to read those poems. I dig it, man. Gotta check out Tumble Words. And also before we move on, I gotta ask that painting behind you. I'd love to know more.
So that is a painting that, well, the original painting was oil pastels on vellum. I did it in a figure drawing class at the local art school for an adult night class. And this is actually on, so I found this aluminum tray with a little wood trim. It was at a free swap shop, which was when I was living in a town where I had to take my trash to a transfer center, which is a very clean garbage dump. And they had a swap shop, which was like a big building where people take all types of stuff that they think other people can use. And I found this tray that I was going to use as a tray, but I thought then when I saw it, I thought this would be pretty cool to do a painting on. I didn't know that I was going to do this painting on it, but that's the painting. So it's just acrylics on this aluminum tray, probably from the 70s or something.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're showcasing that. Cool, man.
Gracias.
Thank you. And we're actually gonna go from one poet performer to another of the Bearded Bardos who also has his awesome art in the background all of the time. And of course, he's always got to rock the cap during the cover poem, not the cap, the hat during the cover poem. Let's go ahead and go to Denver. We have Mr. Mike Sindler in the house.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, we're taking points off of him for not putting on the hat with the cover poem, but that's okay. He's still rated very high. So he's going to the next round in the Olympics. Yeah, before I get going, I'm putting some stuff in the chat about open mics and things I got going. And as always, I just really want to put out the word about lighthousewriters.org. And if you'll note, I do have a link in there to LitFest, which is coming up on the 4th of June through the 13th of June. It is just such an amazing thing. Y'all owe it to yourself just to click on there and see all the stuff going on. There's free stuff every night. It's very cool. And so I'm just going to do some really short stuff so I can move on to the hat. And this first one is boy, I'm tired today, I can tell, is a Tonka. Moss eats at mountain, waves cut into seaside cliff, both turn to sand. Particles blown on the wind swirl on restless desert dunes. And next, this one is called Leap, and the epigraph is a Zen saying, which is leap and the next will appear. Stone to stone across creek, gray flecked solidity, illusion of stability, slick moss surprise, not so simple, is it wise? Quickly flowing essence swirls, splashes onto heels, clear cold droplets, each reflect moment of self in whole, of all in motion. Perhaps it is better to swim with the current. And lastly, seeing how I've been talking about Lighthouse, this is a triolet that I wrote about the lighthouse, which is this amazing little mansion. It's so beautiful, such an inspiring place. But obviously right now everything's virtual, but if you ever get a chance in Denver to go to the real place, it's so beautiful. But this is a lighthouse triolet. In the warm stillness of this house, thoughts are transformed into stories. Repeat what memory allows. In the warm stillness of this house, so many wheres and who's and hows, sweet defeats and bitter glories. In the warm stillness of this house, thoughts are transformed into stories. And seeing how I was so quick, I think I have time for 2 hats. And somebody's having a birthday today, so I'm celebrating it. Hence the 2 hats. And this first piece is called Love Minus Zero, No Limit. My love, she speaks like silence, without ideals or violence. She doesn't have to say she's faithful, yet she's true, like ice, like fire. People carry roses and make promises by the hours. My love, she laughs like the flowers. Valentines can't buy her. In the dime stores and bus stations, people talk of situations, read books, repeat quotations, draw conclusions on the wall. Some speak of the future. My love, she speaks softly. She knows there's no success like failure, and that failure is no success at all. The cloak and dagger dangles, madams light the candles, and ceremonies of the horsemen. Even a pawn must hold a grudge. Statues made of matchsticks crumble into one another. My love winks. She does not bother. She knows too much to argue or to judge. The bridge at midnight trembles. The country doctor rambles. Bankers' nieces seek perfection, expecting all the gifts that wise men bring. The wind howls like a hammer. The night blows rainy. My love, she's like some raven at my window with a broken wing. And this next one, pretty much everybody knows, called Simple Twist of Fate. They sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. She looked at him. He felt a spark tingle to his bones. It was then he felt alone and wished that he had gone straight and watched out for a simple twist of fate. They walked alone by the old canal, a little confused, I remember well, and stopped into a strange hotel with a neon burning bright. He felt the heat of the night hit him like a freight train, moving with a simple twist of fate. Saxophone someplace far off played as she was walking on by the arcade. As the light bust through a beat-up shade where he was waking up, she dropped a coin into the cup of a blind man at the gate and forgot about a simple twist of fate. He woke up, the room was bare, he didn't see her anywhere. He told himself he didn't care, pushed the window open wide, felt an emptiness inside to which he just could not relate, brought on by a simple twist of fate. He hears the ticking of the clocks and walks along with a parrot that talks, hunts her down by the waterfront docks where the sailors all come in. Maybe she'll pick him out again. How long must he wait? One more time for a simple twist of fate. People tell me it's a sin to know and feel too much within. I still believe she was my twin, but I lost the ring. She was born in spring, but I was born too late. Blame it on a simple twist of fate. Happy 80, Mr. Robert Zimmerman.
Right on, man. As always, thanks for sharing those pieces. That was cool. And of course, gotta appreciate the hat game. If you guys are not familiar, that is a tradition here at Stay at Home Open Mic. A little tribute to Kit, who kind of started doing the cover poems, and of course, he's always got to rock the hat. So that is something that we do. And I always love the way that you read these cover poems, bring your own voice to it. So thank you, Mike. And of course you did it inverse, so you kind of started off with all the promos. Always love to the Lighthouse Writers org. Speaking of lighthouses, you got to check out that new Lighthouse series going on with the Global Poetry Network. Poetry Global Network. Wait, it's NPG, right? Or is it PNG?
GN.
PN. Okay, yeah, with Finn Bell. Yeah, Lighthouse. Go check that out on YouTube. There's a bunch of our friends on there. It's really cool. The PGN. Okay, cool. The Lighthouse, and of course, you've also heard our next performer. You've heard the name dropped all throughout these online open mics, the Tumblewords writing workshops. It's been a space where so many of us have been able to come up with new content that has been published all over the world as well. And of course, so we have one of the founders, and it's always great when she can make it. We have Donna Snyder up next in the house. Donna, what's up? Welcome back. Hey.
Hello, Miss Snyder. Good to see you again.
We have you muted, by the way.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. Hi. Thanks a lot. Good to be here. Who said hello, Miss Snyder?
That's me, Dan the man. Good to
Dan the
see
man.
you.
Hi, Dan. Okay, I'm hoping to be there Thursday night. Let's see. I've got a poem about the apocalypse to read. I'm gonna read some new shit. I wrote it just Saturday in the Tumblewords workshop that was led by Aldo Amparan. And he's just so brilliant, wonderful poet. And his workshop was one of the best in 25 years of weekly workshops. So this is not got a name yet. But I will break the rules of Tumblewords and give a little intro in that the concept that Aldo was working around was white space and like short lines in white space, and lots of breath-based punctuation. Another baby found on the ground, returned to nest again, found on the ground again, its beak bloodied, its chest bloodied, hit it in the flower bed, hid it from the killing sun. Just a baby, yet it runs so fast into the stone wall. Stone splattered with paint, the exact color of the baby's bloody breast. Feathers bloodied again, return to the nest again. Wings almost fly again. Horror in the nest again. Horror there before me, above me, an adult, savage, hard beak shoved into soft beak. Savage, sharp beak thrust into soft chest. They call it scalping. An adult attacks a baby. This baby girl, fully fledged, almost flying, desperate and small. I stand on the ground. You brute, I yell. Leave that baby alone, I yell. Stop that, I yell. The attack so vicious, the baby so desperate. Stop that, I command, hurling nothing but words, yet the adult stops, walks a few steps away, walks back, one more vicious lunge. Stop that! A bird's eye view, my earthbound body is fury. The big bird stops, leaves the nest, disappears into the crowd of murmuring pigeons, leaves the baby bloodied, heaving, weak. Fully fledged, baby almost flies, again, baby falls. Brick hard ground again, baby runs for the wall, can almost fly, but not through stone. I hold the baby, my hands a cradle, my song a comfort, My hands quiet, the baby quiet. I hide her in my house, abandoned, assaulted, bloodied, forlorn. Easter basket refuge. A blanket is Bridget's mantle. Safe, quiet, a momentary peace. The dark house, an Easter basket. She hides inside the basket until solace and sanctuary come. And that's my new shit. And I almost broke my leg putting that baby back up in its nest twice. But finally, one of my new favorite charities, a stick house animal sanctuary, came and took it. And now she's going to grow up and has a little companion there at Stick House. This is a poem that was just published last month. I think I wrote it a couple of years ago. It was published out of an anthology out of South Texas. And the only name I recognize in it is Chuck Taylor. It's called A Fuss of Pigeons. In the night I wake to the touch of no one there. The dog sits up and barks. We look at the door as if someone just closed it. Energy passes between us without intent. I write into a small box words that may never be seen. Something happened, I say, then bury my face in the speckled chest of a beloved dog. I sniff deep her doggy scent and call her hero mommy. A fuss of pigeons flutters outside the bedroom. Words appear in the palm of my hand. I swipe across silent keys that do not exist. The taste of metal on my tongue reminds me this moment is not a dream, or rather now no more dream than is any other moment a dream. The shadow of birds in the setting moon visible through the window glass draped in Turkish lace, as clear as if they could be touched, and as illusory as the quest for the theory of everything. Thank you. And then a third one, and this was published in 2021, that's last year, in C2 magazine out of Pittsburgh. It's a bilingual Hindi and English magazine. And once a year, they have a special Western Voices issue that so far I've been in 3 times. The desert never stops outside my door. Daybreak, I walk back and forth in the front yard. Pigeons flock around my feet as I walk, singing, swinging seeds across the fence to the sparrows. A flutter in the haunted mosquitoes outside my face. The pigeons eat leftover kale stems, pear cores, burnt rice. They break apart dog shit seeking desiccated delicacies, provide a service as well as their murmured beauty. Today, I found a fat one left at my back door. Iridescent feathers ringed its neck in shiny glory. I shook my fist at my beloved Pitty Bubba. Don't kill my pretty birds, I scold him. And don't look away from me with a silent tail. I make a funeral march to the garbage pail out front, wailing to birds mourning in silence from my roof. Then feed the boys in their respective yards. The pug eats beside the shed and back. The chastened pit bull averts his eyes in the side yard. The boxer on her tray inside the kitchen. I shout, birds, stay out of my dog's mouth. Shaking my finger, I remind the boys, and don't bite the birds. They bring joy. My dogs are good boys, really. It's about turf. The pigeons bully the dogs. Yes, really, the pigeons bully the dogs. They mock them, bathe in their water, steal their food, claim the alpha's top step. Nothing thrives in the desert without thorn, claw, scale, or tooth, without shelter from the killing sky. I will feed them all again tomorrow, singing in the desert as I do, praying only to stone and feathers who demand no sacrifice of blood. A Mexican bird of paradise stands in my backyard. It bites me if I get too close. It guards my dead. Okay. I timed myself that time.
Awesome.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, Kit. Bubba's got a bad, guilty conscience. He knows he's not supposed to do that stuff. Now I will make some announcements if that's okay with you, Richie. Yeah. Okay. Well, this week we won't have a workshop. And for those of you who don't know what Tumbleweeds Project is, I've been presenting free creative writing workshops for 25 years now, almost 26, and on a weekly basis. And they're about the practice of writing and reading aloud. It's not revision, it's not critique, it's not like a university writing workshop. It's about writing and reading aloud. And on Saturday, June 5th, we'll have El Kit. And didn't I write your workshop title? I know I did. Oh, here it is. The New Intelligence, with poetry by Timothy Donnelly. On June 12th, Steve Brown from Utah will be presenting Bluish Green and Foaming Pink, Eroded Poems on the Suburban Frontier. June 19th, Juba de Griot will be presenting Juneteenth, a day of celebration. Be there, show your respect. June 26th will be Cheryl Luna, I think she's from Colorado, I'm not sure. We'll be presenting a workshop called River of Words, the Border, Boundaries, and Bridges. Coming up in July, on July 3rd, Hit the Streets. Political expression is one of the fundamental rights guaranteed to us in the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights of the Constitution. July 10th, Miguel Escobar from Northern California will be presenting the second and a third in a series of 3 workshops called Notes on Abstract Poetry. July 17th, Jeff Calise from Seattle will be presenting Breaking Down the Genre, Border Walls, How the Muse Migrates. July 24th, Brian Franco will be presenting Breaking Rules and Inventing New Poetic Form. July 31st, Denise Science. The hot and wonderful Denise Science, and I don't have a workshop title from her yet, I don't believe, and I'm hoping to get that in the next 2 days. And then coming up in August, the comedian Anthony Austin Brown will be back in town from Las Vegas and present a workshop on August 7th, August 14th. Hannah Hollenberg will be presenting a workshop presumably to do with political writing, since she's the editor of a political newsletter. Monica Gomez on August 21st with Dog Days of Summer. And on August 28th, we'll begin August and end August with humor. Sharita, and I don't have a workshop title from her either. In September, I know that Michael, did I miss your workshop again?
The 11th
Of what?
September.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Michael Sindler will be presenting a workshop, and he'll give me the title, Orititita. On the 18th, it will, I don't know who be, you know what, I've got you, yeah, August 11th, I mean, September 11th, fine. And then on September the 25th, we'll be participating as we have every year since its inception in the international event, 100,000 Poets for Change. Oh, and I'll be presenting an extra workshop. I'll be presenting a workshop on June 20th for the Borderlands Rainbow Center. It's on healing, and it will be a part of the international series, ad hoc series of workshops called the Lilith Circle, and it will be based upon an anthology by Girl God Books called Original Resistance that relates to Lilith, and has 2 of my poems in it. So I'm sure I will be reading 2 of my poems at that workshop, as well as listening to people like El Poetastic, who I see is here tonight. There you go. Nice to be here. Thanks for listening to my bird poetry.
Thank you, Donna. You like went and read all the workshops. I think we're set for months ahead. I didn't expect
I don't
that.
come every week.
Yeah. So an easier way would probably be to follow Tumblewords online through Facebook, because the announcements are always there. But as you can tell, a lot of integration of performers that have been coming to read here, and also a lot of wonderful, amazing poets from the region and all over. It's a great opportunity. If you guys have not yet to check out one of the workshops, definitely check it out. Yeah, looking forward to a bunch of those. Let's see. So we're actually gonna go to San Antonio, Texas, where we have JR Estrada. Welcome back to the show, man. It's been a while. How's it going, dude?
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's going okay. Pandemic teaching kind of throws us off beat. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, sounds great, man.
All right, cool. All right. Yeah, I'm just testing out a new mic, and I think it worked earlier on the test, so I think we're good to go. I really do mean to come to open mics more often, but I don't know how many of you know that teacher life, it just doesn't cooperate a lot of the time. And I am just getting out. I'm double vaccinated, so I'm just getting out more. Yes, thank you for clapping. Yeah. All right. So since I am just coming back out to open mics, a lot of the stuff I wrote a long time ago, but it's essentially new shit. I'm gonna do this first one. It just got picked up to get published in the Luna magazine. So I'm gonna go ahead and perform it tonight. The roots of an Indio stretch for miles and are tangled with weeds and shrubs and orchards of alien flora. Following them to the source would take a lifetime, and most don't bother. There's a neat little lump of roots at the bottom of Texcoco, and there we find our story. One of giant noble trees with mighty crowns of quetzal feathers that refuse to bend to steel and gunpowder, but were chopped down anyway. And now they all somehow live in ambiguous harmony. I've learned that I am from where my roots are, and my roots are from where my dead are, but my dead are scattered in places I've never been. They are people I've never knew and live lives I don't understand, and I dare not impersonate the mighty trees that are my fathers. I dare not my leaves whisper borrowed words I do not understand. I dare not the color of my bark make exaggerated claims to appear more regal. The truth is, as much as I'd like to be the mighty tree with the crown of quetzal feathers, I'm also made of the steel and gunpowder that topple them all. And none of it is what I am. I'm more the paths my roots have taken, and the knots on my side, and the many angles of sunlight I've seen since I sprouted from the ground. And I offer my very sincere apologies if we can't use my story to reclaim histories that were never meant to be ours. That's one, and I'm just gonna do one more. This one, it's not quite done. I think I'm getting close, but like I said, I'll say this again. I'm coming out of lockdown, and I'm thinking a lot about people that didn't make it with me. I did lose one friend to something adjacent to the pandemic, that we connected on David Bowie, she and I. So when she passed, and I got to thinking about her and that connection, I decided to take a David Bowie song and just kind of mess with the lyrics and try to come up with something else. This is what I got so far. I catch a paper boy for something to read on my way to the outer loop to see my friends, to catch them before we wave bye-bye. And I do try to be there on time, but they seem to catch the wind and leave me behind, and I just stand there with the cold breeze on my back. No confessions and no religions, not a single thought to walk on by beside my friends before things got so terrifying and left me with no belief. But I made it about me, didn't I? It doesn't really take a lot of work to realize that when my friends catch the wind and leave me behind, it really is me and you that they leave behind, and the pain and tears that overwhelm me, that tight feeling in my chest the morning after, when I stand here in the wind, when I stand here in the rain, those are signs of life. And my friends, I just watched them fall, I watched them pass me by. What can I do but just wave bye-bye?
All right, man. JR, dude, thanks for sharing. Before we move on, man, do you have any websites or places where people can connect with you or continue to support your work?
Yeah, my handles on social media, it's just Mr. Tostada. I'll put that in the chat. It's spelled weird. Like I came up with that after one of my first students didn't hear my last name wrong, and they just said, "Hi, Mr. Tostada." So I just ran with it. And I do have a website where I blog a bit, and I put up the pieces that have been picked up for publication. It's just jrestrada.com. Somehow nobody had that domain, so I got lucky. But that's really it. My local the San Antonio open mics that we have over here, that they haven't figured out the hybrid online and live thing. So when that happens, I'll be sure to tell you.
That'd be awesome, man. Well, thank you for making it out. Like I said, it had been a while. I definitely remember when you came, hey, anytime you're back in El Paso, hit us up. We'll get an open mic going or a little feature or something for you. All right.
Of course, I'm anxious to go back very soon. Yeah.
Mr. Tostada. I love it. Yeah, I remember also just saying your name all the time on Instagram too. So glad you can make it today. All right. So we're gonna go from San Antonio back to Ohio. That's right. We have the poet Raja in the house, who's making his second time back. It's good. I'm glad you made it back. Sometimes if someone's here for the first time and then they don't come back, I'm like, no, what did we do? But you made it back, so it's good. So poet Raja, how are you doing today, man? Welcome back.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to be back.
Mute. There you go.
It's a solid space. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. Yeah. I'm doing well. All right. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do two. Do one that's a little bit heavier, and then one that's a little lighter, at least by my standards. To the woman who gave me $20 outside of the Omni William Penn. Thank you for providing I'm going to start that again. Also, it's not a Frosty. It's just a drink from Wendy's. It's Dr. Pepper. To the woman who gave me $20 outside of the Omni William Penn. Thank you for providing financial compensation with your ableism. I know what you saw, an armless man sitting on a wall using his phone with his foot. And so you assumed the rest of my story, that I was reliant on the kindness of strangers, that I needed your charity, and that I was sitting across the street from a hotel with my bags because I was waiting for you to save me. And that without your generous gift of $20, maybe I wouldn't have eaten that day. But in assuming my story, you stole my humanity because I was no longer a person to you, just a disability. So you left having done your good deed for the day, and I got to have another interaction where I was immediately reduced to my disability. And before you say I'm putting words in your mouth, understand that I've seen that look more times than I care to remember. That look where I cease to exist, and all that someone sees is my disability. And I saw that same dehumanizing look in your eyes as you tried to hand me your money. And I know what I saw because I know that look like I know my own name. I've seen it too many times to count, where I quit being a person and exist solely as an object to be pitied, or an object to be overlooked, or an object to be admired, or even an object to be inspired by. But hear me when I say, it doesn't matter how hard I try, I cannot be this object that you want me to be. And I get that this is hard for you to understand, but I am sorry. I am not an object. I am a person. And so when you looked at me, I looked you in the eyes. I dared you to see my humanity. That was my first piece. This is called Kneel Before Xerxes. Also, I'm not sure if I read that first one here before, so if I did, I apologize. But here's Kneel Before Xerxes. Admit your failings, realize what you lack, as your body gives way to exhaustion, as your sword grows heavy in your hand. O king, you are weak. Bow down before this deity, and kneel before Xerxes. Speak your limitations, know your own fragility, as your sweat now mixes with blood, as the weight of your helmet grows unbearable. O king, you are spent, genuflect before this god made flesh. Kneel before Xerxes. Tell of your impediments, recognize what you are missing, as your flesh burns from the heat of the sun, as carrying your shield has become increasingly cumbersome. O king, you are frail. Pay homage to the one greater than you. Kneel before Xerxes. Voice your deficiencies, note your own brittleness, as your muscles ache from dehydration, as your armor has become more weight than you can carry. O king, you are flesh. Kiss the ring of he who rules all. Kneel before Xerxes. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Right on. No, you hadn't read this one yet. Here.
Hell yeah, that was great. They were both great.
Cool, man. So I see that you have is that your tag there on your name, the poet Raja _ Raja?
Yeah, the poet Raja. That's how you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, and TikTok too. I'm still trying to figure that out. But then also, I don't if y'all know the Learning to Fly podcast, had me on, and that episode just actually dropped today. So check it out. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify and everything. I'll drop a link in the chat. But yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
I actually have an announcement tonight.
What's that?
I actually had an announcement tonight. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, awesome, dude. Congratulations on that release. And yeah, put that link in the chat for sure. And I'll forward it to YouTube as well, to everyone who's watching there. But glad you can make it back, man. As always, you and everyone else who performs are always welcome back. Unless we have an issue, right? Like we talked about at the beginning of the show, right? If you guys are being weird and creepy, don't do that. Don't do that. I know that's none of you guys, but all right. Oh man, so Umesh had to leave. He was signed up, but we're gonna go ahead and continue, and we're gonna go to Washington D.C. for our next performer. You guys all know him, guys. It's Ed. It is Ed, Poetastic, busting out the thesaurus with all the P poetry words. What's up, man? Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Richie. How's my host that deserves a toast that we all love the most, that goes coast to coast?
I'm great, man. Thank you for asking. You're doing great.
Sure. Yeah, I'm doing very great. I'm just with this huge poetastic, poetic, and magnificent energy. It's just words to the soul. I love it. Woo! All right, I got 6 jokes and 3 poems. All right. What did the skeleton said to the doctor? I have a bone to pick with you. What did the monkey said to the fruit stand? You're driving me bananas. What did the vampire say to his boss? I can only work for the night shifts. What did the ant say to the other ant? Why are you so antsy? What did the penguin say to his reflection? You look so chill. What did the praying mantis said to his wife? Please don't bite my head off. All right, I hope you guys enjoy some jokes. Hope make your laughing muscles chuckle while you unbuckle your buckles. All right. This is called The Strong Distance. I'll be there someday. I'm sorry. I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find my way. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. When I go the distance, I'll be right where I belong. To where I belong, I'll be more powerful and strong. I'll rush along, no more slow finishers or prolongs. Hopefully someone's waiting for me, no more killer bees, to set my pinned heart free, a cure from this blackened disease. Maybe a new group of friends, burning away foggy time. Hopefully we'll stick together in the bitter ends. That would be so joyful and sublime. Maybe it's a new opportunity, an ugly end towards another beautiful beginning. Something to help the poor community, keeps people's hopes upbeat and singing. Maybe just another day to get lost in a new story, a newer color than gray, to obtain a nostalgic shining glory. Maybe it's to finish a hard challenge, something to test the body and mind. New wars to hold and scavenge, help to keep my chakra nicely aligned. Maybe it's to create another poetic piece, something to soothe the empty soul, a breath of pure release, a sight to hear, digest, and hold. Maybe it's to grow and live along people like you, to enjoy the lessons of being alive, look up and capturing the essence of the deep blue. Maybe I could be strong, test the trials, go the distance. No matter if it's right or wrong, life just love seeing us prance and dance. All right, and here's another one. This is called, pull it up. This is called Rainbow Fish. All right. Hard being a fish, mostly swimming against the currents. Met some dogfishes, mostly feeling like a tiny ant. Met some swordfishes, mostly thirsty for the hunt. Met some golden fishes, mostly beautiful jaded serpents. Met some lion fishes, mostly vigorous acting plants. Met some mudfishes, mostly funny looking eggplants. Met some lungfishes, mostly looking helplessly urgent. Met some rockfishes, mostly obedient but never defiant. Met some angelfishes, mostly getting lost in their chants. Met some catfishes, mostly a false image they implant. I'm just a curious fish trying to achieve his wish to freely relish the joys of life's adventurous dish. All right, and here's my last one. You guys are protesting, horrific, and incredible. I love this audience. Okay, this is called, where did it? This is called Inner Punisher. Here we go. I'm sorry I left you, darkened in sadness, stabbed by pain, reminiscing your kiss. When I think of you, my heart burns with 1,000 suns, mourning for me to return. Thus you cheer me up, whenever I'm blue, while I dance with sharks, pinned by tormented screws. Now guilt eats away, as lions eating his prey. Each and every day I pray, pray, and pray. My dreams that came true, yes, she came with a price, drinking my inner abyss, while salty tears turned to ice. Mirrors of you past me, it was a lovely daydream. When I'm with you, my days feel so supreme. I think of you so often. You're my Mona Lisa, with your glittering grin. Oh God, how I miss you. I couldn't please you, so I ran, ran, and ran. My dear, my wallet had the flu. I hope you could understand. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome, man. I like that. I like that way of finishing. He's like, thank you. Drawn out a little bit. Yo, if you guys like that, if he made you laugh, made you kind of nod your head with those awesome rhymes, he's got a cash app. It's Eddie Foreman 92. Got definitely, get him a cup of coffee. So Eddie, how can people also connect with you online?
Sure, you can connect me at Eddie Foreman on Facebook, and you can find me at IG at EdForeman92. But remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my moon and poetastic insight and sunlight. Woo! Hope everyone have a poetic day, and I hope you have a good weekday and a very, very sunny Tuesday.
There you go. I like your disposition there, man. You got a custom intro and outro. And I gotta ask, since you mentioned it, about how many online open mics do you say you hit up a week on average?
Wow. There's Nero, there's this, there's Oh Behave, there's The Antics, there's They're Calling Me Mitch, there's others too. There's Trisha's, there's a lot. I had to say probably around 6 or 7.
That's great. That's a good week. I gotta ask because every time I see somebody posting a screenshot or a picture from one of the online mics, I always love to play my Where's Waldo, and I always see it. I always see like the top of your head.
Oh, I'm sorry because I have my bed. Usually my laptop's on my bed. I usually on the ground.
Got that custom view. Dig it, man. Well, as always, I'm glad you can make it, and you're part of it now, man. You're part of it.
Thanks, bro. I feel the love. I feel so much love, so much potassic energy. I just love how people could really feel me. I just love that. It's just sweet, sweet, pure essence of poetry. And thank you. Thank you. Love you guys. Love everyone. Woo!
All the love, man. Yeah. Keep being yourself, man. Keep being you. Yo, so check it out. We're gonna have a performer up next who has performed in the past, but I believe a lot of you had not met him at that point. He's joining us from Truth or Consequences. Oh yeah, that's the name of the city. And he's gonna do some original hard folk core. It's Rodney coming back. What's up, man?
Hey Richie, how you been, buddy?
Great. Good to have you back.
Thanks, man. It's good to be back. I'm gonna try out a new song here I just wrote the last few weeks. Kind of came out of nowhere. It's called Hooked. Can't keep from thinking how I keep on sinking on down in a hole. I feel like my step has used all its step to get off the floor. I'm done when the fun's too tired to run, accused of everything under the sun, doing my duty and running you off of this song. I made up my mind, I'm building a shrine to worship the moon. I stuck with my gut, I swallowed enough bad air in this room. I felt like the spell was good up until the sky done gone and fell in the well. It's friction that's sticking and needing the fixing the home. I'm digging and playing and begging the pixie to show these denying lights at these dizzy heights. I guess I was right when I said something must be wrong. Now I'm out of sight of the firefight, maybe locked out till later tonight. Won't you come clean, baby? Got me hook, line, and sinker. I can't stand to lose, a zero to choose, to capture in hand. I can't bring back the past, run backwards real fast, fuck nobody can. This movie is proven to be an intrusion. Your feelings got hurt, everyone's bruising. Flow has been blowing and slowly been slowing me down. I'm digging and plaguing and begging a pixie to sound these denying lights, these dizzy heights. I guess you was right when you said something must be wrong. Now I'm out of sight of this firefight, maybe locked up till later tonight. Don't you come clean, baby? Got me hook, line, and sinker. Got me hook, line, and sinker. Now I'm falling out numb, so I don't go around dumb. Slick as a switch, two-step to turn, and lifting the leg up shows this old dog can learn. And it's as rough as the going will come. Are my words in the dirt important enough for you to pick up? I'm fleeing the scene, go up at the beehive, giving it up. So imagine the time, the ultimate kind, losing the hate and stopped on a dime, leaving me breathing and teasing this dreaming alive. I'm digging and plaguing and begging the pixie's eye. They not a lie. Oh, how could I? Thank you.
Yeah, man. Nice, nice.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I've got time for another?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of a shorty. Cool. I'll try to pick it up a little bit and get off the feeling down deal. This is a song called Paper Soul Dance. A chick told me one time to write her a love song, so this is kind of what I came up with. So careful what you wish for. I watched you build it up until it erupted. Thing that brings on self-destruction. But I don't see your strategy working out too well for me. Just not adding up. Well, all my troubles double when the kingdom started to fall. I struggle to articulate the meanness of it all. And I don't sleep, not a wink, and there ain't no link in my dreams. To the anteroom, wish that I could dance nice and smooth. To the back corner of the room, way out on the far side of the moon, where gravity's been removed, and release my paper soul so it can flow to the unknown and go happily grooving with the tune. So I've been counting on my fingers what went wrong, but I keep coming up a couple short, few numbers off. I don't believe your treasury should ever count this much on me. When I'm not adding up, that's when I found a treasure buried deep within my heart. Duplicated dreams orbit this galaxy of thought. The slave's no longer dancing to the sounds coming out of my heart. Just not adding up. Wish that I could dance nice and smooth to the black corner of the room, way out on the far side of the moon, where gravity's been removed, and release my paper soul so it can flow to the unknown and go happily grooving with the tune. Dance, paper soul, dance. Well, your apologies, fable, sarcastic compliment started out amusement, parked into an argument. So get a grip on those lips. They so loose they just might slip. Sink in my spaceship. Wish that I could dance nice and smooth to the black corner of the room, way out on the far side of the moon, where gravity's been consumed, and release my paper soul so it can flow to the unknown and go happily grooving with the tune and go happily moving with the groove. Dance, paper soul, dance.
Awesome, man.
Something like that. Thanks, man.
It's a great way to end the song. Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So I got to ask the question a lot of people are probably wondering, but is there a way we can hear these elsewhere on the internet?
Actually, yeah, if you can read this little impromptu sign I made up a while ago.
Oh, nice.
Can you
Perfect.
Read that maybe a little bit. I actually have some good news to announce. The Can Do Musos is it's an organization out of Australia that do great things for musicians with disabilities. In case anybody hadn't noticed, I've got some missing digits on my guitar hand from an accident I had a few years back, and these guys actually signed me on last night. Did my first interview with them last night, so be able to catch me on there real soon too. So working on my demo, put my demo out, but I've got some videos on YouTube and my Facebook now. So
Right on, man. I'm always happy when you can make it on. It's honestly not often enough, so definitely follow those. That's awesome, man. Great having you.
yeah, I've been chasing. Thanks. It's great to be here. I've been chasing technical issues for like 2 months now, so I'm finally getting them dialed in. So I'll probably see you more often too. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Truth or Consequences isn't too far from El Paso. So if you ever find yourself in the area, you know, please hit me up. I in addition to the online mic, we do in-person open mics. We right now it's only once a month. You know, cautiously. But I also have a new series where I'm recording poets, songwriters, and even storytellers. So if you guys have an interesting story you'd like to tell, I'm filming them. It's called Fresh Cuts. You can actually find them on our YouTube channel, which is, again, Barbed Wire Open Mic. I've already released several poets that I've recorded, including Denise, who you'll hear a little bit from later. Let me see. Yes. So any of you guys here, including El Paso poets, but if you guys are in El Paso region, I'm starting this new series. If you want me to film high quality video and audio of your work, just hit me up. You can follow me on Instagram. Well, you just look me up. It's my name, Richie Marrufo, or on Instagram, Deadwall Reveries, and I have a link actually for booking. So, and that's what we're doing tomorrow. I do have a whole day of recording. I'm recording 2 people. I'm recording an audiobook, and I'm recording a musician, an acoustic guitar player and singer. So that's cool. And I might have some time. So if you guys are interested tomorrow hitting me up for that, you should. But for anyone who's not El Paso, and if you guys ever find yourself traveling, passing through, stop by and meet some of us. We might have an event, or if anything, I'd like to film some of your work. All right, cool. That was awesome, Rodney. I always appreciate when we get some music on here.
yeah, thanks again, Richie. I had a great time. I love coming here, man. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So Man, I messed up a little bit on the list because this is super late. I know it's super late for him, and I appreciate him sticking around. I started off the show with his special edition background. In fact, I'm actually gonna just pull it up really quick. All you guys already know him and love him. He is an excellent host. I love what he does in his work and his poems. So let's go ahead and welcome from New Jersey. Let's go ahead and welcome Nick Paleologos. What's up, man?
What's up, Richie? How you been, man?
Excellent. You got that. Whoa, hey, man. Let's see. Let's get
I
you.
know I have no beard. It's a miracle, right? Yeah, I know. It's like, oh man, it's like let's just say I was not feeling like myself the last couple days. Yeah, I joined the Babyface Brigade. You know, it's been rough and everything. I've had trouble writing. You know, it's not that I couldn't create, just that I was in a bit of a funk and everything. So I wasn't at New Yo tonight, but while it was going on, I made 3 poems, but I'm only going to give y'all 2 of them. And I was deciding which 2 to do. So I'm definitely going to do this first one. It's literally freshly made for y'all. It's how I've been feeling the last couple of days. This one's called Boxed. I've been in a funk, write, create, repeat, boxed in, like boxer pushing me to post, like Manny Pacquiao punches to post up, like Abdul-Jabbar, like Garnett, like Antetokounmpo, move swiftly, move with force, hook the shot to swish. No rim until I'm tired. 2 a.m. beckons, can't sleep yet. I got a fresh idea that could be put onto paper, drying out my soul's ink, which makes me lesser of a person. I'm in pain. It's like eating the same meal over and over again. It's a bland deliciousness of the same sad energy. I'm like that Alice in Chains song, a man in the box, buried in my shit. Save me, grasp my hand and pull me out of the ocean of my emotions. I have been looming for oxygen and I can only breathe fire. Hydrogen is flammable, so why couldn't I breathe? How can a book save me when my thoughts run wild to keep creating? It's another ad versus reaction. I'm still in a box, floating on, looking for a pirate ship or land. I'm hungry. I've been starving for years. I'm going to die. My soul won't be filled. That was the first one. And I'm feeling like doing this one. This is like for my grandpa, and I haven't written anything. My grandpa passed away a lot of years ago, 15 years ago, and I didn't write anything about that. So this was on my mind a little bit. So I'm gonna present this one. This one's called "What's in Your Hand, Pop." I learned poker at a very young age. I was about 8. My grandpa used to play cards with his buddies. My grandma would watch. So would I. I got enamored. I never played as much. I always thought if I didn't have a winning hand, I screwed that up, excuse me. I always thought I didn't have a winning hand until you showed me. That just because I have a 4 of hearts, a 7 of spades, a 9 of diamonds, jack of clubs, and the ace of spades that I shouldn't fold. The ace of spades is the most beautiful card in the deck of 52, and I will never trade that for anything. I can always bluff or get a better hand. Gambling does run in the family, so does toughness. My grandpa was built tough like a Ford, fought in World War II, was a Navy man, apparently had 2 hernias, still fought, still kicked Nazi ass. You fought hard. We lost you nearly 15 years ago. My mom still misses you. I still miss you. It took those 15 years to finally say it in writing. I'm trying to come up with something for you, some quotable for you to run to heaven and tell the angels about. I still hear your voice. Look at what my grandson did. I'm proud of you. I write this with tears in my eyes and my emotions tattooed in my forearms like firearms brandished and firing on my command. Would have loved your opinion on what I should do now. You know how to steer my ship in the right direction. I think I could still navigate these seas. I wish I had you by my side. You could compass my way through. You could You gave me more than I could ever give to you. Salute to you, soldier. My soldier. My guardian angel. My grandpa. Your last hand might have been 2 aces and 2 eights, all black, and a queen of clubs as the kicker. But I know you had royal flush the luck getting up there. Love you, Grandpa. See you again someday. Thank you.
Man. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. And also, dude, you know, that's relatable that, you know, what you're talking about there. I'll say from what I've seen from all the online mics, man, I feel like you're one of the most beloved and respected, you know, so it's always great to have you here too. What do you got going on, man, that you'd like to promote and, you know, and of course how people can connect?
Well, people can connect with me first on Instagram at the real Nick P on IG. So I mean, you know, you can always catch me there. This Thursday, Vocabulary is hosting the poetry games again. This time with Donna Beth, and unfortunately, there was not going to be an open mic that night. I will not be hosting that week. So yeah, I will not be. There will not be, I believe, an open mic. I believe for that one, but it's just going to be the poetry games. I have a feature coming up June 5th. There's a that's with you know, Mr. Speaker's hosting that and everything. I'll get those details for you all as soon as possible. I believe June 13th, I also have another feature, and that one I'm going to confirm that with you. And then June 30th, I have like another feature and everything. So it's like getting to be intense. And I also have a show that I'm going to be hosting very soon, starting June 2nd too as well. So June's going to be a very, 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 very busy month for me. I hope I can be able to get to as many shows as I possibly can and everything, you know. Thank you all so much for having me, Richie. Thank you all for your kind words and everything.
That's awesome, man. Those shows are in good hands. And the whole mic thing's cool. I like it. So yeah, shout out to all those events you shouted out. The poetry games. Yo, if you haven't checked those out, we got Domo Beth hitting those up. It's the dilly dally dawdle and delay. And it is very true where I saw that Lee commented. It's hilarious how that's how most of us got to know Domo. Because that is often the technique. Instead of doing homework or studying, is like, all right, I'm gonna do some online open mics.
Well,
And
Richie, also, I forgot one more thing.
Yo,
Also,
yeah, go for it.
on Saturday, I had hosted at Word is Right in place of Marissa. And actually, one of the features was El Paso's own Paula Khan was there. And she was one of the features, actually. It was dope as hell. She killed it.
That's cool. You know what? I gotta admit, I did not realize that Fishnet Poet was Poet Khan for a while. I did not know there was an another identity. So I missed that. I missed it. Yeah,
You don't remember the stockings, Richie?
I don't. The stockings?
She had a
That's
killer
funny.
set.
That's awesome. Are those just like live on Zoom? They're not anywhere to be seen? Are they recorded anywhere?
It should be up on the Word is Right sooner. There's the live video and everything that we have and everything, so you can be able to catch the live if you wanted to, like, you know, see it, because I put it live and everything, and it's written recorded. It should be up soon as possible.
It's recorded.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just in order to like not get so caught up in social media, like I just kind of don't hang out there. You know, like I use it when I need to use it, respond to people, but you know, if I'm not careful, I can get caught just in a whole vortex of like checking, refreshing and checking. And so for my own like mental health, so sometimes I'll miss connections like that. But of course we love Erica, we love Poet Khan. In fact, I believe she's going to be guest hosting next week. So, you know, if you want to be part of that experience, you know, I'll have the sign up sheet available probably by the end of the week. You can find it wherever you usually do. And I'll try and post it as early as I can. But yeah, let's see. Let's go ahead and keep going because we do have some more peeps. I want to get them on. Let's see. Oh, of course. Now, you've been doing this lately where when it says what you'll be performing, you've been doing poetry, hopefully. So hopefully, you know, No, but of course, one of our favorites. You guys already know they've been featured at some, one of the Fincabulary shows, The Painted Black, and I'm definitely looking forward to also featuring their poetry on Fresh Cuts whenever they're ready. But for now, for the Stay at Home Open Mic, let's go and welcome Lee MS. Hey, what's up?
Thank you. So hopefully there is poetry. So I have something old, something new, no borrowed stuff, so just a something new part. So the something old, this is called Boca de Lobo. I read it once, I think only. Pretty much just as a background, there's a song that we used to sing as little kids that, and I'll sing it a little bit, but it's pretty much just a children's game, a little tune to a children's game. So again, this is Boca de Lobo, first in Spanish, then in English. Jugaremos en el bosque mientras que el lobo no está, porque si el lobo aparece, vivos o muertos nos comerá. Las noches solían durar nuestros años, interminables incluso con la interrupción del sol sobre nuestras nucas. Ni en nuestras congojas imaginábamos la boca del lobo atrapándonos, inadvertidos de las cantidades que había ya engullido. Quizás contraproducente, la burbuja que crearon nuestros padres nos mantuvo al margen, sus miedos disfrazados por ojos siempre atentos en cada rincón de nuestro patio. Crecimos sin miedo a la muerte, especialmente a no temerle cuando nunca estábamos solos, resguardados siempre bajo la cautela inadvertida de guardianes. Solían ser las calles extensiones de nuestros propios hogares, la línea entre lo mío y lo nuestro casi invisible. Comíamos en diferentes mesas, tomando bocados de sazones variadas, y en noches frías nos arropaban diferentes manos. Solía considerar mi vecindario mi familia extendida, quienes desaparecían de vez en cuando o eran reemplazados por nuevos primos o tíos segundos removidos. La boca del lobo mostró los colmillos cuando bajamos la guardia, tomándonos desapercibidos y dejando pedazos de carnaza sobre nuestras calles. Cambié la noche por días y las calles por candados. Llaves, cercas, metales, cemento, madera, mensajes, llamadas, cámaras, miedo y años en los que perdí memorias de sonrisas ilusas paseando sobre pisos rojos. Desconocí los caminos que ya antes había recorrido y huí en el primer trago de aire. Reemplacé la familiaridad del lobo por otro desierto y los dientes ahora del coyote sonriendo por las noches. Lobo, ¿estás ahí, sí o no? So that was the Spanish version, then the English version. And this is a translation of the little children's rhyme. I don't know how to call it. We'll play on the forest while the wolf is not there, because if the wolf returns, dead or alive, he will swallow us whole. The night used to last our years endless, even with the interruption of the sun over our heads. Not even in our anguish, we imagined the mouth of the wolf ever trapping us, unaware of the amount of victims it had swallowed already. Perhaps it was counterproductive, this bubble our parents created to keep us oblivious, their fears disguised by ever-watching eyes spread across our backyard. We grew up without fear of death, especially not to fear her because we were never alone, guarded always under the inadvertent caution of our guardians. The streets used to be extensions of our own homes, the line between what's mine and ours almost invisible. We ate at different tables, taking bites of buried seasonings, and on cold nights we were tucked in by many different hands. I used to think of my neighborhood as my extended family, who disappeared from time to time or were completely replaced by new cousins or aunts, uncles twice removed. The wolf snarled bared his fangs when we let our guard down, taking us by surprise and leaving pieces of carnage on our streets. I traded nights for days and the streets for padlocks, keys, fences, metal, cement, wood, messages, calls, cameras, fear, and years in which I lost memories of diluted smiles walking over red floors. I no longer recognized the roads I had traveled before, so I fled in the first breath of air the wolf took, leaving for another desert, and now the teeth of the coyote smiling through the night. Wolf, are you there? Yes or no? That was number one. I have one newish and one new. So first the newish is called If She Will Have You. If she says yes to your undoubtedly thoughtful repertoire of pet names, will you take her out for an undisclosed amount of time to learn about the things that make her smile, make her cry, make her lose her mind? If she walks towards your car when you call her by her newly earned nickname and accepts the invitation to join you on a leisure drive, will you halt traffic just to open up and close the door? drive her off to a new adventure of her choice, somewhere to fulfill that wanderlust behind those eyes? If she adapts to your lack of rhythm and sways to the beat of your hips, her sweat prickling the tip of your tongue, will you leave the spotlight to shine on her? Let her guide your steps as she reclaims the space between your breaths? If she will have you, will you see her whole? If she will have you, will you fix the unassembled pieces you had broken her down into when your eyes first light on her and your tongue pull apart by pieces her own value? If she will have you, would you even love her? Then tell me, why would you even start this chance meeting by fancying her an object of desire to control and overpower? And then the translation. Si dices que sí a tu, sin duda alguna, elocuente repertorio de halagos, ¿la invitarías a salir por una cantidad de citas indeterminadas para aprender acerca de las cosas que le hacen reír, llorar o perder la cordura? Si caminara hacia tu coche cuando gritas los nombres que le has dado y acepta la invitación de unirse a tu viaje placentero, ¿detendrías el tráfico para abrir y cerrar su puerta? ¿La llevarías a una aventura de su elección, a algún lado que le ayude a realizar las ganas de conocer el mundo que esconde en sus ojos? Si se adaptara a tu falta de ritmo y moviera su cuerpo al son de tus caderas, si su sudor rozase tu lengua, ¿la dejarías tomar tu lugar bajo las luces, que guiara tu cada paso mientras reclamara el espacio entre sus respiraciones? Si aceptara tus avances, ¿podrías por fin verla completa? Si te aceptara, ¿compondrías las piezas en desorden a las que inicialmente la redujiste la primera vez que tus ojos la miraron y que tu lengua deshizo a pedazos su valor? Si dijera que sí, ¿siquiera la amarías? Entonces dime por qué siquiera empezarías este encuentro al azar con el deseo de convertirla en objeto, el deseo de controlar y dominar. Number 2. And the last one, this one comes with a little anecdote that actually happened today. It's brand new. I'm trying to ask for accommodations at my workplace due to my mental health issues and some neurological issues as well. And my psychiatrist so kindly told me that I looked fine, that it didn't seem like I need any help. So this is for him. You seem fine to me. Fine, I'm taking the mask off. I'll call you next time, ready on speed dial, so you may hear the disquiet inside of me, the buzzing sound of the exact same words traveling back and forth through my neurons for the millionth time. What am I doing with my life? I shouldn't be here. I should quit. Could I afford to quit? 80,000 minus 50,000 equals no. When will things get better? I don't want to be here. A part-time 30,000 plus, however much a part-time pays. When will I feel satisfied? Job search, outdated resume, another fucking cover letter. You can't even buy food with that. 5 years experience for a recent college grad. Why can't I just die? You function just right. Right. I'll invite you the next time I find myself on the designated spot for the sad people to cry in. Let's set up a telehealth meeting so you can see the panic, hear me swallow down my anger, desperation, disenchantment. Never seen, never heard, except for this time. I'll let my colleagues join us too, and hopefully you could explain to us then why we find comfort in the thought of no tomorrows, why we cope in self-deprecation and addictions, why we barely get by on the statistically sound ways in which we could give away our days willingly. You are too smart to be asking for this. Too smart or just enough to pretend to function. Let me set you up for a chat with my supervisor. Perhaps you could change her mind on my latest eval, explain to her just how the gaps in memories, the lost time to the ecstatic sound of the realization, the daily astral projecting where I leave this vessel behind every hour on the hour is conductive to efficiency. I don't believe in accommodations. I don't believe in working to live, living to work, letting the sand of my broken watch seep between my fingers to enjoy not a second of it. But here we are. And that's it.
Damn, you told it. That's crazy. You know how belittling to hear that kind of thing. But like I said, this is where we come to like just let it all out, right? So and you definitely have been doing that.
Part of therapy.
Yeah. So Lee, what's up? What you got going on? What are you working on? What would you like to promote, and how can people connect with you?
I'm not working on anything specific. Well, trying to edit for a second publishing, but that's about it. I don't have anything coming up, but you can follow me on cadáveres_literarios on Instagram, and I'll post my information in the chat because I cannot find my little thingy that moves on the back. But yeah, you can follow me there or on Facebook, and it's Lee Martinez Soto on Facebook, and all my information is on my Linktree as well.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and I really love that the Linktree thing because it's just an easy way to put everything on there and just be like, yeah, just check out the Linktree. But definitely share those links. And as always, your presence is crucial to these open mics. I believe you're part of the landscape. Now. Okay, cool. We're gonna go ahead and go. Oh, we got some poetry from India. That's right. We have someone returning. You heard it for the first time last week. We have Angela Celestine joining us. And let's see, where are you? Let's get you here in the chat. Angela, what's up? Welcome back.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
what is up?
everyone. Yeah. Morning, because it's morning in Tuesday, and in India it's Tuesday morning. So yeah, morning. Today, my poem remembers those powerful women who have escaped from cursed married life and have set an example for those women who are still victims of domestic violence, forced marriage, forced abortion. And so here we go. So the title of my poem is Take the Lead. In the parting of her hair, Grandpa, you wish to see vermilion, while her eyes still wish to see dreams million. Her juvenile hands are yet to be fit for raising infants. For her, that world should be distant. But now looking herself in the mirror, she also sees the red and the bright path of her hair. It's beautiful. And the black circling her eyes, the dark black clouds contain faucets. Drops fall from them periodically. Sometimes they burst inordinately as that dark day when darkness surrounded the creation of her blood red. On the graves of millions of female fetuses rest lavishly the desire to continue patrilineality. And so she cries, this time with joy, for her blood has created a son. But joy is for a life saved from cursed devil. But still, she is a victim of devil's information. The scar on her forehead, just below the vermilion, pains loudly, tells a story. Scars are not good, but scars give strength. In the darkness of her room, her son besides, lost in innocent dreams, clock strikes to 3 a.m., storm in her mind. She thinks and rethinks again. Her consent never a priority. Pens were seized, rings were crowned, her blood was killed. Her consent was never a priority. I will take the lead, she says. And the cursed togetherness of 7 birds expired with a paper. And now she toils to fill the empty stomach, to reacquire the lost identity. And so she blooms, writing her cursed life. An eminent writer has she become. The lead was taken, a good lead. Stereotypes were crushed, and so she blooms. To all trained mothers, I say, you are strengthful. Take the lead. Take the lead. Thank you.
All right, Angela. Awesome. A very important topic too. I'm glad you touched on that. Did you have another one that you wanted to share or?
Currently, I'm not having. Actually, I'll have to search, so it's okay for now. In the next, I'll definitely do that.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. And do you also have your Instagram, right? That's where people can find you online.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram with the name Angela Wright. Also on YouTube with the name Angela Celestine. So you all can follow me there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on your Tuesday morning. You said it's still morning,
Thank
right?
you. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I'm glad
Not
you made it
actually,
back.
It's 9. It's 9. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's 9. Okay. For me, that's
Yeah.
like I'm still asleep by that time. So that's
Okay.
that's morning for me. Awesome. Hey, well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. And of course, you're always welcome to come back. All right. Definitely follow her on YouTube and Instagram. Check out more of her writing. Always fun. And I'm glad that you connected with us. Man, international. We got the poetry everywhere, from everywhere, all around. I'm looking at the list, and we did have Nico Kim signed up, but he's not here. I don't see him. So we're gonna just keep going. I did say we got Finn Bell in the house, and Finn as always has crazy like just projects going on. We talked about the lighthouse earlier. So let's go ahead and welcome her back to the Stay at Home Open Mic stage. What is up?
Hello, hello. A lot is up. I'm trying to keep afloat on top of it.
Right on.
Better. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna start inverted too. So what's coming up? You already mentioned was Damo Beth doing poetry games, dilly daddle doddle dilly dad. Let's do that again. That's a tongue twister. Dilly dally, dawdle, and delay. Poetry games with Damo Beth. Tomorrow I'm actually doing a feature with Spoken Word Online, which I think was formerly called Spoken Word Paris. It is with, some of you may know, he's really well admired and an inspiration here in the local community, Lantern Carrier. We're going to be co-featuring. That's tomorrow at 11 p.m. Pacific. And then finally, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Paul Conqueso. I just interviewed him on Saturday, and that was awesome. It's just like hanging out. It was way too easy. So I'm gonna post all that in the comments. I wish all interviews were that like easygoing. Okay, so because it is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I wanted to share a poem by Filipino American poet Reggie Cabico, called Mango Poem. Mother fetches the fruit from the mango grove behind closed bamboo, rips its paper leather cover during midday recess before English class, describes their dance, peach plums, cantaloupes before my first world eyes. When the sun blazed on the dust, she let the mellifluous fluids fall on her assignment books. Where the mangoes were first planted, mother, an infant, hid under gravel, swaddled by Lola, my grandmother. After my mother's aunt and uncle were tied to the tree and stabbed by the Japanese. Mother and daughter living off fallen mangoes, the pits planted in the darkness before I was born. We left the Philippines for California, dodging US customs with the forbidden fruit, thinking who'd deprive mother of her mangoes. Head down, my father denies that we have perishable foods, waving passports in the still air, motioning for us to proceed toward the terminal. Behind a long line of travelers, my sisters surround mother like shoji screens as she hides the newspaper-covered fruit between her legs. Mango sleeping in the hammock of her skirt, a brilliant batik. Billowing from the motion of airline, caddies pushing suitcases on metal carts. We walk around mother forming a crucifix where she was the center. On the plane, as we cross time zones, mom unwraps her ripe mangoes. The ones from the tree Lola planted before she gave birth to my mother. The daughter that left home to be a nurse in the States, who married a Filipino Navy man and have 3 children of her own. Mother eating the fruit whose juices reign over deserts and cornfields. And this is something that's tiny bit of a work in progress. I don't know what it is yet. I'm still working on it, but I'm going to share what I have so far. The prompt was a photo with fish, and one of them was swimming in the opposite direction. 16 fish, one swimming in the opposite direction. Pass me by on your way to the next big meal. We have always been fish, gills opening and closing, fins churning like some colorful mechanic ventilator. We sometimes eat in a single brain huddle, a communal tangle, but never in communion. We are not breaking bread. Pass me by, wiggle and squeeze in to get your fill. I am swimming against the current. For a moment, we are a cloud of gorgeous unifying color. We fool the eye. I am swimming against the current, risking being mistaken for chum as I break away. And then finally, a new poem, which I shared a while ago. Kind of a continuation of what I shared here last week. So last week it was called Sirena Sor Juana, which is in Tagalog, Filipino, mermaid and sorceress. So this one is called Isa Pang Kantang Sirena, another siren song. Oops. You catch my iridescence as it fans out and your envy expands in its wake. You gouge all my edges off, remold me to look as you do. Divide my mystery and make it into legs that flounder. You feed me bowl, my own cauda sirena. The pain of separation, a puny hope of my submission. You dream amidst plaintive lost at sea wailing that I will soften upon your palm before you burn me on the kiln. There is not enough of your feeble fire to combust me, to consume me. I am not clay doll siren, replicate and confine along with your curio on the shelf, to collect dust while you splice your own two limbs and not see the phases of the moon mark time upon your forehead. I forgot myself, how my shipwreck incantations lulled. I was human, I was your putty. I wanted to bleed out all my spell casting in my pearl encrusted tears, but that would have been a sin to the pores of my unseeing eyes. Defying you in this way while you spin your pottery wheel looking off into the distance. There is not enough of your feeble fire to combust me, to consume me. Whilst you raise your tiny villages and claim your Lilliput castles, have you seen me slay the kraken and pivot my sister the ocean in my rage? I am swaying with the same movement of the temperate waves, of the boats that hum along with the tropical breeze. Take heed before my placid waters engulf and swallow you. Thank you.
Awesome. I like that. Take heed. Awesome. Got a lot of quotable things there. I like the feeble fire as well. Thank you, Finn, for making it, and of course, all the love. I know you said you did it the inverted way as always. Yeah, looking forward. If you guys haven't already, check out those shows. I'm looking forward to the interview you had with Paul. That's really cool. All right. Thank you, Finn.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Let's see. Or I don't know, did you have anything else? I mean, I feel like, did you promote your stuff, like your social media? Well,
I don't know. I guess it's just Instagram at Finn_Bell, PHYNNE_BELLE. You know, like the Disney Princess Belle.
There you go. Yeah, and you have a poem where you sing Belle.
I do. I know.
Yeah, I remember that one. Cool, awesome. Well, I don't know. I just had to like we gotta highlight you too, like in case so people can also see what you got going on with your work. Thank you for that. So let me take a look here on at the list. We have a couple more peeps. A couple dropped out. Some didn't make it, but we do have some fire coming up. Got some El Paso peeps, and then Paul is still with us, right? Yeah, he's gonna come up third from Jersey. But let's go ahead and bring up. You guys all know him as Mr. Monday Night. Fulfills many hats. He wears many hats and roles. Let's go and welcome Kit to the stage. Kit, take it away, man.
Man, someone had a bad job used the wears many hats thing because I was doing a bunch of that's thank you, Richie. You're a host extraordinaire. We're all grateful for you. And more people are getting to know that. That's kind of cool. And gonna do a couple of mine and then the vaunted famous cover poem. This one, I haven't read it in a while, so we're gonna take it, we're gonna drive it around a lot, make sure all the gear still work. Meaning is not a constant. We pretend that it is for the sake of economic stability and other intimidating fictions, but we're all adults here. We know how many words and phrases mean their opposite in application. Everyone in this room would classify fuck you as an insult, but it is a phrase I deal out exclusively to friends. It is a privilege for me to tell you, fuck you. Bow your head and receive it like a congressional medal. It means that I trust you in the way that circus acrobats reach out for each other, in the way that professional wrestlers protect one another. We retain control by yielding. We eat well when we leave a place empty for Elijah. We talk roughly with our friends, and we speak with an alien grace to the people we hope get hit by a meteor. Perhaps this confuses you. Very well. You will not die of confusion. In my experience, understanding is much more fraught. They say if you meet the Buddha on the street, you must kill him. Let me never understand. Let me always walk softly on a pudding skin of liminal confusion. A word that means one thing has been discarded. A person with one name has been buried. A language without ambiguity is dead. Your contradictions are what keep you living. Living, which is another word for the pause in between two heartbeats. And another more recent one. We'll take this for a spin and see how it goes. The Temporal Committee has responded to my letter dated April 13th, 2016. They apologize for the delay with just enough self-awareness to make me wonder why there isn't more self-awareness. Come on, guys. They write to inform me that my request to forfeit all memories from the year 2007 has been denied. They tell me all requests of this nature are considered fully and carefully, but are typically reserved for the survivors of natural disasters and war atrocities. While they express a patronizing sorrow over the feeling of loneliness and alienation mentioned in my correspondence, they note that such feelings are abundantly typical in 19-year-olds. They further note that such a process would be absolute, taking away not only the bad feelings, but the lessons of the bad feelings and the incidental joys. Their records show that I would be losing 5 crucial friendships, 2 terrible friendships that were useful warnings, a Sonic Youth concert, and that one baseball game that was disrupted by a swarm of midgets. Wouldn't I like to remember watching that on the 12-inch television? They informed me of my rights to an appeal and have enclosed the appropriate forms. I am reflexively filling it out when I stop and reflect. I don't remember why 5 years ago I was dwelling in such a despondent way on an additional 9 years prior. The problem of memory seems to have fixed itself. I wonder why we all approved of the temporal committee in the Memory Bureau without much political pushback. There was a rally or two. I went. I marched, mostly just to get out of the house, a little bit just to be seen. The opposition was focused on its Orwellian potential, but the reality is less exciting and worse. They are unhelpful, opaque, combatively self-righteous. Let me speak to you plainly. I don't need this shit. I can forget things just fine on my own. And yeah, let's go ahead and skip to the cover poem. Going back to the well of Ada Limon. This was published last year. This is The End of Poetry by Ada Limon. Enough of osseous and chickadee and sunflower and snowshoes, maple and seeds, samara and shoot. Enough, chiaroscuro, enough of thus and prophecy and the stoic farmer and faith in our Father and 'tis of thee. Enough of bosom and bud, skin and God, not forgetting and star bodies and frozen birds. Enough of the will to go on and not go on, or how a certain light does a certain thing. Enough of the kneeling and the rising and the looking inward and the looking up. Enough of the gun, the drama, and the acquaintance of suicide, the long lost letter on the dresser. Enough of the longing and the ego and the obliteration of ego. Enough of the mother and the child and the father and the child, and enough of pointing to the world weary and desperate. Enough of the brutal and the border. Enough of can you see me? Can you hear me? Enough. I am human. Enough. I am alone. And I am desperate. Enough of the animal saving me. Enough of the high water. Enough sorrow. Enough of the air and its ease. I am asking you to touch me.
Yeah, man, as always, excellent set there. Damn, I forgot. Yo, how can we find you online?
Well, funny you should ask. I have this paper right here. Let's see. Instagram, you can find me at Kit Runaway. Twitter at Kit Talk Sports. Hey, we're in the NBA playoffs. That's exciting. So it's going to be pretty heavy volume this time of year. Coffee.com/KitRen. That's a artsy fartsy blog about football. You can find me on Facebook easily enough. I'm not going to ask you to send me money, but I'm not going to tell you to not give me money. So this is my PayPal. June 5th, as Donna Snyder mentioned, I will be hosting Tumble Words. It will be focused around prompts that come from Timothy Donnelly works. And if you're local, or if you can drive really fast, I'll be at Old Sheepdog Brewery on Thursday night.
Awesome. There you go. Yeah, just bring your private jets out and meet us there on Thursday. You know, that's not a problem, right? No, but we are having our second in-person open mic. It's the last Thursday's kind of thing. Old Sheepdog Brewery. It's one of our local establishments. They do really cool things for the community. They released a series of special beers celebrating some of our, it's called Barrio Love series. And so some of the barrios in town, like they were celebrated in these special custom artwork cans. Yeah, so if you're in town, hit it up. Let's see. Let's go ahead and check out. Okay, we're gonna stick around in El Paso, and we're gonna bring up. If you're following her on social media, you got to see the revealing of the cover of her upcoming book, her debut collection of poems. It's super exciting to see this leaving the ground, and I'm happy to introduce her. Let's go ahead and welcome Denise Signs back to this space. Denise, what's up?
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen the cover of my book, it's so friggin' chef's kiss, guys. I couldn't have asked for more. And I couldn't have asked more for everybody who has been here. You guys have been amazing. So it's a very humbling experience to come after all of these great poems. I mean, poets. Sorry. So I have been having some technological problems, so it's a little hard for me to get to the poems that I have written since my laptop broke and I lost my phone. I do have some on the cloud, but I'm not gonna mess with that. So I dug up my really old poetry books. These are the oldest poems I have. They're not the oldest poems that I have written, but the oldest ones that I have in my possession. These are all about me and my first marriage. I will never publish these because I will never publish any poems I wrote about that man, but I will share them with you. Whew. Okay, so here's the first one. It doesn't have a title, so I'm just gonna go in. I am a flood of burning emotion, trying to resist the urge to scream and cry. I am confounded by guilt, anger, and sadness that sticks to my ribs. Am I selfish? Is it you? Silence clogs my throat. I can't swallow the bitterness of the rejection. Why is it so hard to share? I write words to try and let the feelings out, but my pen betrays the truth. I'd like to say out loud, I refrain from scribing the wounds of my soul, afraid at what you might think or say, afraid of how they might make you feel. Not of me, but of yourself, expressing the thoughts that plague. It will not lead to any solution, just more pain, more guilt. Even with this, you may point out the selfishness in my excessive use of I. But what else can I do with this overpowering feeling to shed tears? I cannot let them escape. I'd be such a little girl if I spoke out loud. You would feel like the one with the diaper. I can't even begin to ask myself what's wrong. What the point is, either way, it won't get fixed. Just stuffed deep in the corner, waiting for a breakdown in which you would say, it has been a while since you've cried. I don't know what to do, what's right for me, what's right for you. Which emotion am I allowed to feel, express, and communicate? I guess it doesn't matter, because what good would it do? And here's another one without a title. I want to cry. A void grows inside, unexpressed, unappreciated. It takes a lot to hold it back. It's so hard not to cry. I'm sorry if I do. I'm sorry if I push my own guilt on you. I'm sorry if I don't give you your own time. I can't shake the need to have you near. I'm sorry I can't seem to share. I try to make you happy, but when I start to cry or be upset, all I hear is how I make you feel mothered, smothered. I'm trying hard to stuff it down. I once embraced my emotional ways, but now I know they are my greatest enemies. And then here's the last one. Well, I'll read one more after this. It'll tie everything up really nicely. This one is called Soap. Female, how lucky. Emotions overrule. Sanity. Isn't that sweet? Delicate, frail. Am I not? Passionate? I wish. I don't feel feminine. I don't feel like a woman, broken, discarded. I don't mind and I can change. Locked up, encased in my own anger. I want to share it, but who would understand? Not my family, not my friends, not my husband. He was so sure I'd be okay. He was happy. Who can blame him? All alone with my pains. It seems silly to be this mad, hurt, angry, diminished somehow. Simply a mother, a housewife,
My kids, husband, family are my life. Where do I fit in? Crawling deeper in my safe little hole, too small for anyone else. At least I still have myself, some part of me anyway. I'll paint the smile on my face everyone loves. I'll cater to their needs, clean, wash, bathe, my affair with soap. Skin like raisin, nails chipping, hair, face, body greasy. When did I let myself go? How could he let me? He was happy. Who can blame him? Making love feels like sex. I love it. I just wish it didn't feel like a one-way street. Romance? Ha, that only exists in books. The hell with romance. He didn't need it. He was happy. Who can blame him? He was feeling guilty for not writing or drowning something for me, or for not writing or drawing something for me on this day. He should have done it then. Don't put him on the spot. He's happy. Who can blame him? So I'll wash it all away with dirt and grime as I tunnel my way down to that so familiar place I'd left long ago and clean it with soap. Thank you guys. And just one more to lock it up. This one is Lilith. I wrote it as a response to a misogynistic poem, and I believe it just really sums up my whole experience being married at 19. And yeah, I wrote those poems like 10 years ago. Let me just. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just get it. Sorry, I'm opening it on my phone. I'm almost there. Okay, here it goes. This one's called Lilith. Since the beginning of time and for most of our life, there have been strict rules for being a wife. Our room, a prized rental space, men are born from this place, yet it's continuously defaced by small insecure pricks who don't know how to use their dicks to give their wife pleasure. Instead, they only know how to pressure their wives to be cum rags, yet we just become nags. Because insecure men never lift a finger and the resentment lingers. We don't see you as a man, even when you hit us just because shit hit the fan. We see you as a child throwing a tantrum who will never find use for a magnum. Maybe a finger cut will be better for your microscopic cock. You say a wife must clean, cook, and with their pussies smother, but it just sounds like you want to fuck your mother. Thank you, guys.
Oh, damn. I love how after your second to last poem, little kitty came up to you and just gave you a little snuggle.
Yeah, that's my Johnny bunny.
It's perfect. You know, those pets know. They know.
They do, yes, especially all of them. Anytime I'm feeling bad, my Pedro, which you guys have seen before, he always just comes and sit in my lap. This other guy, Johnny, he doesn't like it when I leave the room, and he'll just like follow me and cry until I come back. I don't know. I love pets.
Yeah. Yeah, they deserve so much. So Denise, how can people follow you and like keep progress on the release of your book and just kind of see what you got going on, because you've done some other cool stuff too.
Yes, thank you. So if you just follow me, just search up my name, Denise Science. It's Saenz. Sounds like science, but it's not spelled that way. I also have a Tumblewords project coming soon, which Donna had mentioned earlier on July the 31st. So I hope that you all can join me. It's all going to be about healing through poetry and also doing a lot of ancient practices. We'll be scrying through smoke and call upon Tezcatlipoca. So if you guys are interested in that and doing some magic while writing poetry, come on down.
Yo, I love that. Call upon Tezcatlipoca, the smoking mirror. Hell yeah. That's cool. Yeah, thank you. Glad you made it. We had missed you. I didn't realize like you had lost a laptop and the phone. Wow.
Yes. Well, my kid used my laptop for school and they accidentally dropped water on it. So I lost a lot of things. And then my phone, I was out gardening and I lost it. I don't know. Yeah, it happens, guys.
Well, we find a way, right? I think that's a theme that we've been talking about the entire year with these online mics. We'll find a way,
Exactly.
So appreciate you. Thank you. And
Thank you, Richie.
awesome. Let's see. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Doing great. Thanks to everyone who's been sticking around. We do have some people here in the chat who I see who maybe might want to read. If you guys are interested, just put your name down in the chat. Let me know. But we're gonna go ahead and bring up Paul Conqueso, who is here, and he's been mentioned already. He's featured in episode 2 of Finn Bell's show, The Poet's Lighthouse. It's on YouTube. You should check it out. But I know it's also super late for you, man. So I really do appreciate you sticking around a little bit. Appreciate you, dude. What's up, Paul?
What's up, man? I almost passed out, like full transparency. I almost passed out like an hour ago, but I wanted to power through. Power hour. See, I was gonna read a piece where I sing because I'm doing this thing now where I'm like a wannabe singer in my poetry, but now I just don't have the energy to sing. So I think I'm gonna alternate and read a piece that I wrote a little while ago, but I've not performed anywhere. It's a little more introspective, I guess. But also, thanks again for the space, Richie. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, brother, always. This place is dope. And please do check out that interview at Finn. It was amazing. I was honored. It was great. And also, I am starting a men's support space starting June 13th, Sunday, June 13th. So if there's any guys in the room that want to have a community for men to come together and heal and vent, journal, have mental health coping exercises, and dismantle patriarchy from the inside, right? Then y'all can hit me up on the gram at Paul Conqueso. Finn is telling me to sing. I don't know. I'll see maybe if I read this piece, and then I'll see how I feel. But this is called Circumference, or Sure, Come, Friends. My circadian rhythm's gone to shit. Since lockdown hit, I no longer know my dusk from dawn. A yawn is a yawn, and I can't tell if I'm exhausted or overslept. I spend my endless nights measuring the circumference of a pumped fist, which I'm told is roughly the size and shape of a human heart. Should it be this hard? Acute myocardial infarction. What a sharp katana to go out on, spending late nights wondering the exact breed of suffering that full stop brings. Does anyone else's mind jump to mortality right before sleep? No? Just me? Faded into dream, I feel trapped in the exact age trauma captured me, and suddenly I'm 8 again. Something uncomfortable clutching sheets, I freeze, shutter eyes, and dissociate. So maybe at times I do avoid sleep, knowing its second cousin death won't second guess me for a second, rather he would welcome me. I've forgotten what it's truly like to REM cycle sync with the parts untapped past the restraints of waking protective brain, afraid to be alone in that same open space again. Deep end and great whites are circling. Certain this spells certain doom. Then my friends alcohol and substance call around 3 a.m. That witching hour, which, as mom always said, nothing good ever happens after they ask to come over. I ponder hard, then settle on, sure. Come, friends. Let's get fucked up and die, they said. I'm speaking figuratively, of course. Their voice inflecting banterous tone, but I know their form of punchline quickly leads to killing joke. Seeing how my cousin Joey followed them down his own 6 feet deep rabbit hole and how quickly I get carried away in addictive behaviors, I paused to compose myself and composed a text. Actually, guys, I think I'm just going to try to get some sleep.
Yo, appreciate you, man. I know, definitely encourage you guys to check out that episode. Paul, how can people, what's the best way for them to follow you online?
You can find me at Paul Conqueso on Instagram and Linktree. And from there, you can find all sorts of shit. You can find the men's support group. You can find all my other links, and I think I have the link to the PGN interview up there too. So appreciate you guys and appreciate the space.
Awesome, perfect, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, dude, it's late. It's late, man. Next time I'll bump you up a little bit to get you on, because it is late. And Amanda, we had Amanda signed up too, but yeah, she had to bounce out too because it gets late. So yeah, just so people can get on, because I know for some of us it's like not as late, like. So we'll figure it out. It's all good, man. But either way, just to have you come and hang out means a lot. Awesome. So with that said, I mean, we're through our list. Shout out to everyone who performed tonight, as always.
I need 2 minutes.
2 minutes, Dan. I'm ending the show. If you're not here in a minute 30, I'm gonna end it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Dan. 2 minutes. All right. So Dan is next. If you don't know, Dan is Dan. But then I know, yeah, it's like 1 a.m. for a lot of you guys on the East Coast. That does mean a lot. So check it out. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, this stay-at-home open mic is presented by the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. Let me move that stand. There you go. Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. We just shorten it to BWOMS. That's what it is. We do have different ways of supporting. If you want, you can donate, a couple bucks this way. Like everyone else says, take care of yourself first, but if you got a little extra cash, what I do is I put these into the Zoom, the Zoom subscription and all that stuff. Follow us online if you have not already. You can just type Barbed Wire Open Mic on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow the Pandemic Poets. So those of you who are watching and want to be kept up to date with a lot of these events. I mean, obviously you heard people mention stuff all throughout the night, but if for whatever reason you're here and this is all new to you, a good hub that you can follow is Pandemic Poets on Facebook. And you know what? Awesome. Cool. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Terry, yes, you totally can read something. So we will add you after Dan, I think, because Dan is just about ready. Yes. But yeah, I'm going to add you to the list here, Terry. Cool. And
ready.
Sweet. So, guys, if you've been here, we've been doing this for about a year. We've had 2 people now been here for every single episode, including the unaired pilot. That's always the thing, right? The unaired pilot. We did have a very first open mic that just didn't go live. We were just trying it out. And after that, we went live on YouTube and haven't stopped since. But from that very first one all the way to today, we've had 100% attendance from Kit Ren. Oh, yeah, that's right, Mr. Monday Night. And we've also had 100% attendance from our next performer. You guys, if you know him, you know him. If not, get ready to be introduced to a force, a phenom. And he's, he shows all love to everyone in the world. He'll tag you on Facebook if he finds you. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage, Mr. Dan the Man.
Thank you, Richie. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay. All right. Well, just to let you know, yeah, next Monday is Memorial Day. Yeah, I know that what we do is we honor and celebrate. We honor and remember our fallen heroes, those who served our country, but we also those who were also the officers who were sadly killed in the line of duty. And especially last year, we honored frontliners and those we've lost during COVID-19. And yeah, we want to remember them. Click. Yeah. And also we want to remember those we've lost, 23 lives we've lost and right here in El Paso, especially the ones in Las Vegas, Orlando, among others. Those we want to remember them, but they were gone, but they were never forgotten. Especially tomorrow will mark 1 year that we've lost George Floyd. So we want to remember him and honor him, that we did finally got justice for George Floyd. And we prayed one day that we get justice for George Floyd, and mission accomplished. Our prayers have been answered. justice for George Floyd. Okay, now I prepared this poetry for next Monday, and I'm going to share the image. And this is the American flag representing Memorial Day. So in this poetry, I call it Memorial Day. Last year, 2020, this year, 2021. Memorial Day, last year and this year. I always know Memorial Day is at the last Monday of the 5th month in every single year of Memorial Day, once a year. It's last Mondays of May. Well, last year was the toughest because of fear. COVID-19, loss was near, society was keen. This year, we remember those we've lost both last year and this year during COVID-19. Well, we've lost more than 2,600 in El Paso. We're almost 590,000 lost in the US and more than 3 million around the world. Well, God rest their souls, but we want to remember them. Well, we do want to remember them. We might know them, but we don't know them. But I want to remember them, when we want to remember them as one of our own, our fellow people, our fellow friends, our fellow neighbor. We miss them. They miss them. Friends miss them. Family miss them. They are gone, but not forgotten, remembered and honored. Just like in Memorial Day, like every single year, we remember our fallen heroes, soldiers, law enforcement, firefighters, among those fallen heroes. But now the real fallen heroes are the frontliners during the COVID-19, like doctors, paramedics, nurses, healthcare workers, and those who never give up to save lives during this time of crisis, last year and this year. Again, they are never forgotten. They are gone, but they're never forgotten. We are remembered and honored, especially remembering our fallen heroes and those who we know, those we don't know, they'll always be remembered. Like we remembering our 23 fellow El Pasoans who we've lost August 3rd, 2019, lost in our city, El Paso strong. So we remember those we've lost in Las Vegas, Orlando, Columbine, among others. We want to remember them. They are not gone, but they're never forgotten. But however, there's one person we want to remember. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. George Floyd. He died on the day of Memorial Day. The day that had impacted the nation and society forever and impacted all over the world, that we had to stand together and fight for justice. And we all know Black Lives Matter, George Floyd matters. And we did pray, and throughout the year, we prayed one day. We prayed for justice for George Floyd. But finally, this year, our prayers has been answered. We finally got justice for George Floyd. And we remember him. We honor him on Memorial Day. So, Rest in peace, George Floyd. But we also want to remember Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks, Elijah McClain, and Andrew Brown Jr., among others. We want to remember them because Black Lives Matter. Memorial Day, last year, 2020, this year, 2021. Those were the days we remember those who are no longer with us, but their spirits are always with us. Still, they're gone, but not forgotten. Still remembered and honored on Memorial Day. All right, what do you think, Richie?
Cool, Dan. Good tribute.
you.
Good tribute.
Thank you very much. I know Memorial Day is next Monday, so I thought I want to give a head start. So I figured be the best way. And I know tomorrow marks the 1 year anniversary that we've lost George Floyd. And I know this year we finally got justice for George Floyd. Now you can rest easy. And we're praying one day we get justice for Breonna Taylor, Rayshard Brooks, Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain, Andrew Brown Jr., among others. And yes, Black Lives Matter, always. And especially as I mentioned, okay. And don't forget, for those of you who saw my previous season of my poetry slam, allow me. Yep, Red Nose Day is this coming Thursday. That day we help end child poverty one nose at a time. And where we buy the nose, yeah, hold on. And where we buy the nose, all the proceeds goes to the charity to help end child poverty. So this is what we do every year, once a year, nose every last Thursday of Red Nose Day. So that's what we're gonna do every Thursday. So this coming Thursday is Red Nose Day. Noses on. We help end child poverty one nose at a time. So. Okay. All right, guys. Oh, Denise, can you send me the info on your latest book? I want to promote this on my next blog. Just message me. Okay.
Will do, Dan. Thank you.
All right. Okay, guys.
Yeah, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, here's my card. Read it and weep it. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Search and subscribe it. Like my page on Facebook. Don't forget Dan the Man's Weekly on. I'm sorry. Don't forget the hashtag Dan the Man's Weekly. Woo, shoot. All right. Don't forget hashtag Dan the Man's Weekly. Like my page on Facebook. All right, guys. Yeah. So you guys have a happy Memorial Day next Monday. Well, I'll see you guys again next Monday for Memorial Day. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy. Y'all know what to do. All right. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Richie.
All right, I appreciate it, man. I always feel like I'm on the news show when you do that. All right, back to you. I'm like, hold on, I wasn't ready. Give me
Thank
two.
you,
I'm
Richie. I
gonna
appreciate it.
Dan, give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on. Give me two. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm doing what you do to me.
Thank you, Richie. I appreciate
Hey man,
it.
great tribute. Dan the Man's Weekly. Check it out. As always, man, appreciate the heart that you put into all your blogs, your vlogs, all that stuff, man.
Thank you.
And the tributes. So
Thank
check it out. We do have a last minute sign up, which is great, you know. So I do want to invite Terry Rose Jertson to the microphone. Terry, what is up? How are you
Hi.
doing? Welcome to this space.
Thank you. Can I share my screen?
Yes, let me go ahead and do that a second. Where are you? Let me find you. Okay. Terry, how'd you find out about this one?
I'm always looking. I pop in every now and then to different open mics. I'm trying to get better at it. I write a lot of things. They're like stories or short, like real short stories. And I do some haikus. So I'm just trying to craft my art. So I'm just hanging around listening a lot of times. I might read something or I might not. So I don't know. I felt like I wanted to read something. So since I was hanging out, I figured, well, let me read if I'm allowed.
Perfect. Well, welcome. Go ahead and take it away.
Sure. Can I share my screen now?
Yes, you should be able to.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'll try it. Nope.
Oh no, nothing yet. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't select anything yet. I'm not gonna be able to, because it's a poem that I wrote for my grandma, and it's in my Instagram photos. So I have to go in Instagram to get it.
Gotcha.
So you won't be able to. I don't think I'll be able to share that picture, but I'll just read it. So for Mother's Day, I wrote a poem for my grandmother who had passed away. Don't change now. It's long because it's where it's shoved in Instagram, but it's not really long. Okay, so Nana is what we called you. You didn't say much about your family origins. You did say a few choice words in Italian, which would come out quickly when you were triggered. The eggplant parm that you painstakingly spent days making for my dad, your son, at his request, you showed me. You tried to teach me to crochet at my request, and as you were the expert, but me not so much. But at least we tried. My memories of you are these: watching you sitting in your chair, rubbing your knees with holy water, telling me how they always pained you. Your teeth in a glass. You told me that when you were younger that you didn't like them and you had them all pulled out. Back then, they would use your real teeth to fashion a bridge, and today that would be classified as hazardous waste. Also today, if you say to your dentist that you want to save your child's baby teeth, it is a big deal. I remember setting the table for you and trying to be a help. Maybe I would anticipate the time when you would throw me $1 or two from your coin purse. Cash was scarce back then, and a couple of bucks was a lot of money. I recall when I finally became a mother and it was getting close to the time when you would be a great grandmother, and you said you didn't know if you were going to make it. That thought was not even in my mind. I think my face must have reflected what I was thinking. As I have that kind of face. Nana, I said, you have to try. As if we could control something so serious and out of the depths of our human ability. She knew that I did not fully understand, or that I could never imagine my life without her in it. The day she died, I was the most inconsolable person in the room, much to the embarrassment of my very reserved family. I never remember feeling so much grief in my life, and never will I feel it again. End poem.
All right. So the tribute, they get a lot of tributes here, and I like it. A lot of it invoked a lot of memories. Um, People sharing. So Terry, where are you joining us from, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm in New Jersey.
Jersey. So you stayed up a bit too, then.
Yeah, I was just listening. There was reruns on TV, and I'm just sitting here trying to listen to something new.
Oh, this is way better than reruns on TV, you know? But thank
I
you
know.
for joining
know.
us, and oh yeah, totally right. But thank you for joining us, and I always appreciate it when someone is, decides to jump up and share some of the work. It does take still courage, and to do that. And you mentioned an Instagram. Is there a place like that where people can follow your work and read more of it?
Just my handle, which is ifunny's mom. The one, I don't know if, oh yeah, my name is, okay, it's not there. So yeah, I'll put it in there.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, this is you. All right, I have you on Instagram. Cool. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to promote really quick, or before we move on?
I actually don't have anything published, so I'm looking to eventually maybe put together something like a smaller book of poems or something.
Awesome. Hell yeah. And we'll be here for that journey. All right. We're gonna hold you to like, hey, Terry, how's that book coming along?
Good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at the end of the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me share.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And also, like I said, because it is late, I know. So, but that is going to go ahead and I think end our Monday night show, aka the late show. I know a lot of you guys are experiencing that. As always, if you haven't already, follow us online. You can just look up the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. If you type that in, we will show up. And as always, if you guys are checking this out on YouTube, thank you for this as well. And as always, if you can, just leave a comment. Like, who did you enjoy? What stood out to you? What lines did made you feel something? Because that feedback is pretty nice to have. And as always, we'll be back next week. And yeah, we'll see you then. We're going to go ahead and end the live stream, but we will stick around on the call for a little bit, for as long as people can muster. All right, I'm going to say bye to you guys on the live stream.